Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, people wanna hate every day, it's okay.
All right, welcome back, Reckless Success. The wait is over. It is 2025, and we have a new president, so we're super pumped about that. Tonight's guest is Chad Skaggs, owner of CPS,
That's right.
Custom Chad Skaggs Pressure Washing. What is it? We've already
Custom
been.
power wash service. You're right there.
Yeah, and then also, what's your lawn company?
Lawn and Order.
Dude, you know what's bad? There was another Lawn and Order.
Matt's Lawn and Order.
Matt who?
I don't know. There was a lawn enforcement in
Law.
Marlboro.
Okay, there was another one
And then there was a dude named Matt. Don't know his last name.
that's got other lawn shit.
Was
So I saw yours on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the other guy. So I like purposely didn't like his page.
Right.
I think Lisa even, because you're not on Facebook
No.
usually.
Yeah.
And it actually crossed my mind because I saw that Lisa liked it. I'm thinking, who the fuck is Lisa liking Law and Order?
I got a 1 star from a dude, and it was like a detailed interaction between someone and him.
Okay.
And I was like, I've never had that interaction with you before. And I was like, maybe it's that other guy. I didn't even put the dude on blast, but I was like, you got the wrong guy.
Right.
It's kind of a ridiculous review. I
On
hate
Facebook?
no on Google,
On
which is
Google,
worse.
which you can't take off. I've got one bad one.
I hate those.
So
I only have
here's-
one too. Thank God.
Here's what happened with us. This guy calls, and he's like the judge's son. So, you know, everybody wants to help out the judge's son, right?
Right. You never know.
Calls, he's like, hey, I got shit coming out from under my house. I didn't even at the time, and still don't, deal with shit. I don't work in sewer and
Right.
whatnot. So I'm like, let me stop by. And I stopped by. It's late at night, and he's got a grinder pump. So he's lower than the city sewer. So his shit comes out, grinds up, and pumps it up to the city sewer.
Right.
And he's like, I just need this uncovered, and I'll change the motor, and then you cover it back up. I'm like, all right, sweet. So I call Emergency Julie,
Right.
do it the next morning. But I'm talking to him, and at the time I was doing with the mini $100 an hour,
Yep.
4-hour minimum.
Mhm.
I told him this.
Right.
He agrees to it. We handshake.
Yeah.
Next day we get there. We get done in like 2.5 hours. And he's like, well, and mind you, I've been in shit now up to my knees for like 2 hours,
You're ready to go.
which I don't do. I'm
Right.
thinking, golly, I'm hard up for some money. But I didn't know. I was kind of just trying everything.
Right.
And he's like, what do I owe you? And I was like, we've already talked about it. It's $400. And he's like, well, it didn't take you 4 hours. I'm not paying you $400.
Right.
So earlier in the day, this guy had a service dog that was like provided by the military
Yeah.
for whatever he had. And he's sitting there kicking this dog,
Mm.
tries to sell me the dog. And I'm already like, hey, don't kick the dog. You know, like, what are you
Right.
doing? You're kicking the dog. And he's like, you want to buy this dog? And I'm like, so I already don't like the guy that
Yeah.
much. So when he says this, I actually had somebody else sitting on the traco, and they heard what was going on, and they were like, you go get that fucking money or I'm ripping this shit out.
One of your guys?
Yeah. Because, I mean, he was saying he wasn't going to pay. We'd just been
Right.
in shit up to our knees, you know, and he was
Right.
being an asshole for no reason at all after I fixed his problem.
And he 1-starred you?
So, yeah. So he goes and gets the money because, like, we were about to just dig his shit back out.
Right.
And he goes and gets the money. And by the time I get home, they 1-starred and left a review that, like, we accosted a veteran that had, like, PTSD. And now that, you know, all this bullshit. It was bullshit.
Right.
We didn't accost him. He was being a fucking asshole to us.
Right.
He just couldn't take getting a little bit back.
Right.
And so luckily, I'm like, do we go, you know, on the defense here and like state our case?
Yeah.
But by that point, there was like 5 or 6 other previous customers that were all veteran because they were like really hitting the veteran stuff.
Yeah.
And it just so happened we were given like a 10% discount for a year for veterans. And we did it for a long time. We still do it really
Yeah.
for like, you know, service members. And all these people came, they're like, Jesse was great. And he gave us a discount. I didn't even have to say nothing. Just like all
Right.
these customers came to my defense to the point it was the guy's girlfriend making the complaint. And it was to the point that she like backtracked and was like, well, he wasn't going to pay what they wanted, but that's not fair to pay for 4 hours, you know, and everybody's like,
It's 4-hour minimum.
fuck off.
Right.
So
And it's
it
$400
worked out.
bucks. It's not like it's 40 grand.
Right.
You know, you've had all that equipment there. one thing I've learned, and you guys probably know this already with all this stuff you got going on, but like,
I know what he's gonna say. I want to say it, but go ahead.
get it in writing.
No,
That's what I
damn
was
it.
gonna say.
I was gonna say that like these Facebook witch hunts, even if somebody does say something about you, 30 people will jump on.
The whole cancel culture is over with.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
It's
30
over.
people will jump on, but they're mostly trolls, and by the next day, everybody done forgot. So, like, I've talked to people that are like, man, everybody's bashing me on Facebook. What do I do? And I'm like, just chill out for a day.
This too
Don't
shall
say
pass.
nothing.
Right.
And
People will be on to the next thing.
tomorrow, there's going to be something else that
Right.
they're after. So,
That's true. Even like bad stuff that like is way more severe than like that passes.
Right.
Like how?
right.
You know, you think like, oh, it's gonna be a big deal, and it like doesn't really. I'll tell you what. The new
Tell me what.
I was just reading the new Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm gonna get his name wrong. Hegseth is his last name.
Pete
Pete Hegseth.
I think
Pete
it's
Hegseth. Yes. Dude seems like a cool guy.
Right. We're back, baby. We are back.
We're back.
Huh?
Dude's doing 40 like sets of 47 push-ups. Said he did 5
Really?
sets of 47 push-ups like the day
They're
Trump got
fucking
elected.
pushing
We like
up
it.
on the podium.
We love to see that.
Right.
And then so it was a 50-50 split between like, you know, Republicans and Democrats. So J.D. Vance, vice president, comes in and he can put in his vote to like tip
Right.
it, and he voted to get the man in. But then I started looking him up. Dude's a stud, but like not that great of a husband, you know. And I'm like, all this controversy because as he started to get like known because of supporting Trump,
Right.
people start digging, right?
Right.
And like his mom and him had some sort of a weird email thread, and like somehow it got leaked. How does that happen? I don't know, but it was. And then he like cheated on his wife a couple times. You know, he had a couple different kids with people while he was married.
How do we know the wife ain't? If she's still his wife
I think
after he
they're
had a couple
divorced.
kids,
Well, they may not be married
maybe she
currently.
might be okay with it.
Maybe.
You know,
That's
what I
also
mean?
true.
Who knows these days?
But my point is, it probably seemed like a huge deal to him at the time.
Right.
Like, oh, this is going to screw my career up.
Right.
That was 2020.
I think the last guy that was going to be the
Secretary of Defense?
oh no, the Attorney General, the one guy that was running, and they threw him out there at the last minute because something popped up about.
I don't even know what.
Kind of looked like the same guy too. I don't either.
Well, the point
There's a lot of
is,
news coming at
it
me.
passed. Like it didn't ruin his career. He's the Secretary of Defense, the youngest
Right.
one ever.
Look at J.D. Vance.
Dude, love J.D. Vance. I watched Hillbilly Elegy the other
I
night.
did
Have you
too.
watched that?
Yeah, and I read the book.
Dang, look at you.
Well,
read.
Audible.
Ooh,
It's like I listened to the
right,
book.
right.
I'm
Dude, I
very
like
impressed.
I like audiobooks if the reader is good. I like it
Oh,
when
I
the
know
dude that
it.
wrote the book reads it.
Yeah, you got to
But
do
when
the
they're
little
taking-
sample skit to
Yeah,
see
I
if you
know.
can stand the
True.
voice because there's many books and I'm like, man, that sounds good, and I listen, I'm like, no, I can't do
listened to
that.
this Paul Rosalie. He wrote this book about being in the Amazon jungle. He lives there. He's lived there. He was from
I
Brooklyn.
listened to that. I think
It's a
What
hard
was
book
it?
to listen to, but it was a great book.
Yeah,
But it was like a mother.
and they're like tearing it all down over there and shit.
I
Is
think
that
it
the
was
book?
Maybe a different book, but they are
Okay.
doing some of that.
Yeah.
But it was a great book, but it was hard to listen to because the
Do
dude
you know
wrote
the Amazon is there from all like man-made soils,
know,
topsoils?
I
Like,
heard
how is that
that.
possible?
Dude,
Like,
when
they
did that
made
happen?
a certain topsoil to grow because it was like the Sahara Desert. So they brought in enough topsoil to make I guess it was like the Amazon or one of them rainforests.
Yeah,
I was listening to Joe Rogan talking about it, and I was blown away
right.
thinking about it.
I was listening to the same thing actually. It was man-made, but like when did that happen? Because now it's like the most like diverse ecosystem
Right.
on the planet.
Well, it
you
used to
know?
be a big city and stuff. There was like
City.
millions of people up and down the Amazon, and somebody came through and gave them all smallpox or something and wiped them out.
That'll do it.
So then people come out, they went down the Amazon and they come out and they tell these stories like these massive cities. And they're like, okay, so these stories get passed down until somebody went in to like check it out and there was nothing there. It was just all forest. And it took like only 100 years from the fall from everybody dying for that shit to just grow back up. So they went through there and they didn't see nothing because it all grew up.
Right.
So it don't take long.
That's some fertile ground, dude. That's lush.
Yes.
I would be terrified out there.
I like me a little teaspoon of it.
Yeah.
Just a little teaspoon, you know?
Just a
like
little
a
bit.
necklace with a little jar, you
Yeah.
know, that I could wear.
Be cool, especially because the business you're in the dirt business. You have some really good soil around your neck. It'd be cool.
I'll be driving down the road like I was up in Pekin or Peoria or maybe I was further up north, but the soil was so black out in the fields. Like I was like a little girl. I was
yeah.
like, damn, I wish I had some of that
It's
soil.
like cake batter because I was
Yes.
a motocrosser. So like you see like a freshly
Just
disked track. It's like
loamy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. But also I love like Georgia red clay.
Right.
That's cool. I don't know how it is to work in, but it looks cool. Like
I've
you
never
see,
worked in it.
you see a beautiful like track. It's
It
all
always
red.
bothers me on the vehicles.
Dude, this is
You know
something.
what I mean?
This is interesting. You guys may not know this. I didn't know this until recently. In some southern towns, most southern towns, this may not be true, but some southern towns, they don't like asphalt their driveway, dude. They just have a dirt road to get to like
Right.
nice houses. People with money,
Right. They don't even gravel it.
they don't even
Should be
gravel
like
it.
dirt and rocks
But
that are
it's,
in the
dude,
dirt.
but it's red down in Georgia. So like most people that live on like these big plantations and stuff have just old school dirt roads, and they come into town, right, and spend their money, and they got like a 4Runner or whatever you drive, and they
Mhm.
got red dirt on them. It's almost like a stamp of like, I'm about this life.
I
Like,
kind of do that too. Like, I got a nice badass truck.
right, but I'm not worried about it.
It'll be
being
dirty,
Right.
and I don't give a fuck. I'll
Right.
leave it dirty. It'll be the dirtiest truck in the parking lot. It'll be the most expensive truck in the parking
Yeah.
lot, and be just the filthiest one.
See, I like that, but I also admire Justin May, who washes his truck
I
every
mean,
week.
dude,
Every time I see him, I'm like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
why can't I be like you?
I got in his truck one time. I just slid right across it out the other side. It was so
So
armor
slick.
all. He had
Right.
so much armor all, and
Yeah.
I just shot right out the other side.
Dude, I admire that.
Yeah, his floorboards. Hey, even the
Yeah.
floorboards. I'm like, golly, Justin, how do you keep this thing so shiny?
And he acts like it's not a big deal. He's like, oh, just wash it once a week.
No, there will be like a hoodie in the back seat, and he'll be like, "Sorry, it's so dirty." And I'm like, "What?"
Right. I hate
Okay,
when I get.
I've got this much dirt. I gotta like get rocks out from under my gas pedal because it's not going.
Yeah, dude, my trucks are not very clean.
I always call Aaron, and I'm like, "Buddy, it
It's
ain't been
time.
washed. It ain't been washed since I had it to you." And he's like, "Dude, that was a year ago." And I'm like, "It's
Yes,
time.
sir. Yep.
It's time to get her all cleaned
time.
up again."
Right.
So,
And it's great when it's clean,
yeah,
but it doesn't last long.
mine lasts literally till I get home and I come down to my driveway.
Right.
I get down my
know.
driveway and I get out of the truck to look at it, and I'm like, "Fuck!"
Right.
It's all dirty.
And you know it's going to rain the next day.
Yeah.
like-
Today I had serious thoughts of asphalting our driveway very soon, at least to the house,
Mhm.
and then the lot and everything behind it. Could
Right.
Be.
Right. That way
But-
her car can stay clean.
and maybe I could park up here instead of out in the shop,
yeah.
and then I could stay clean.
I
But
got a couple quotes to do mine, which is longer than this, but
how much was it?
23 grand.
It's kind of what I was expecting. We done the parking lot up there at that building.
That looks good.
It was 18.5. So
Yeah,
Pinnaker.
Pinnaker quoted me
Pinnaker.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who it was. Not IDOT, but E.T. Simons quoted me too, but it was slightly higher. But
I'm thinking about trying it myself.
that seems you could probably do it. You just need all the
It's no
equipment.
more than laying it out. Like you can dump it and spread it with a skid steer and then roll it. You gotta have a guy rake it down.
Right.
So,
You just got to get a roller.
oh, I gotta talk about my health issues.
You
So
know-
yeah, you gotta have a roller,
Yeah.
but you can rent all the smooth
Right.
drum double roller, and then
I
put it
didn't
down
know.
yourself. I mean, I only need like 10 loads. I'll just spread it,
What are you
roll it.
talking about? Do
I'll
it.
let you know if it works. If it does,
Come
that's
to
how
my
I've done a
house.
lot of shit. I'm like, I see somebody else do it, and I'm
Right.
like, well, hell, I could do that.
That's kind of how everything in the world has ever been like done. They see
Right.
somebody else do it, and they're like,
Except
"I'll
the
try that."
first like teacher
the first everything,
or
dude.
the first everything. Yeah, the first boat builder was like, what do I do here?
I mean, think about I don't know. I don't want to go down a huge rabbit hole, but think about the first time somebody ever saw fire, and then they like thought, "Ooh, I'm gonna
touch it.
replicate that, and do that again."
I always think about the first time they figured out how to get milk out of a cow. You know what I mean? Like, did they go
Right.
to the bull first? They're like, let me dunk here. Then they go to the cow and
Might
they're like, wait a
have.
minute.
Right?
You never know because they didn't know.
They didn't know. That's true. Man, times were tough back then. We got it so easy nowadays.
Right.
We take it for granted.
We do.
I mean,
Big
how
time.
could you not?
We were recently, so sorry about all the updates that everybody's missed, but I've had some health scares.
I didn't know that either. So what do we got?
I hiccuped for 4 days. 4 days straight. I'm talking hiccup in the daytime every 5 seconds. like it's that bad.
Dude, that's some
And
PTSD.
then when I go to sleep, hiccup all through the night to the
I was
point
on
that
that too.
my throat
But
felt
then-
like it was on fire. Like I went to the emergency room over the fucking hiccups.
Dude, that was embarrassing.
Like, dude, I walked in there. It was embarrassing. I told Lisa, like, they're not gonna call me back. And we walk in the emergency room. There's this like woman in a wheelchair that's got a neck brace on, and I'm just like standing there. And it was during the ice storm. It's also a warming center, so there's like all these people shoulder to shoulder in the ER
I
late at
don't
night.
think it was a designated warming center. I think homeless people were probably using it.
Whatever. So it was rough looking. It was
wasn't
packed.
designated, but
So I'm sitting there, and Lisa goes to the bathroom. She's, got to help me around because I'm hiccuping. I can't drive. I've been to Logan Primary earlier in the day.
dude, they didn't help you. What'd they say?
They said if it doesn't stop in 24 hours, go to the ER. And I hiccups for 6 hours straight to where I was laying in the floor, just like my whole body, dude.
Dude, that's crazy.
What did I have? My gland was swollen.
Yeah.
My gland swelled up. My throat was sore. And my muscles were all like pulling because
Right.
they've been contracting for 4 days.
Right.
So there's this woman in a wheelchair, and I'm not paying attention at first, and then I see something fly across the room, and it was the neck brace. And I look, and it was all bloody. And I look over at the woman, and she's like rubbing her head, and she's all knotted up. Somebody just beat the shit out of her or something. And she's got blood all over her. She's like rubbing her head in blood, and she stands up out of her wheelchair, and everybody's like getting back.
What time of day was this?
It was nighttime.
That's the
It
worst.
was like
part.
11 o'clock at
Yeah,
night.
not a good time to go to the ER.
It was brutal. And we went to
So-
Carbondale. So, they basically said the same shit. They're like, it's just the fucking hiccups, dude. Go home. And I went home.
No,
and
they
they
did
went,
say that it could be a heart attack.
Yeah.
Sometimes hiccups are a symptom of heart attack.
That was. I bet you were freaking out.
Yeah.
yeah. So they did do an EKG,
Yeah.
which showed that my heart was 3 sizes too large.
No way.
I always knew my heart was too big. Go ahead.
You just love
Jessica
so
would
much.
know what's wrong.
I don't even know.
The
Lisa just tells me.
EKG, you'll have to repeat this because I don't know how loud it'll be on the mic. Showed an abnormality in like one half of your heart, which indicated that you probably had a heart attack 7 to 10 days or longer since that moment.
Had a heart attack.
I guess.
The more we talked to the ER doctor, and he realized that Jesse has severe sleep apnea that's not treated or truly diagnosed, he said that sleep apnea could be the heart problem cause, and to get a sleep study immediately and get a CPAP, because sleep apnea will cause the same heart problems that are showing up on the EKG as a heart attack. That's crazy.
Talk about deceiving.
Yeah. So yesterday I had
you
a,
know that.
yes, they heard it.
Okay.
So yesterday I had a endoscope, I think, or endoscope.
Throat.
Yeah, through the
Ooh.
throat. A couple weeks they got to go through the ass. The doctor was like, I gotta check your prostate. And I'm like, all right. So like, he's like,
Yeah.
he puts a hand on my shoulder, and he puts a hand on, he's there. He's like, just stay right there, I'm like, all right. And then he starts doing the exam, and I look down, and I see a hand over here, and I'm like, hey, doc, wait a minute. He's like, just fucking with you. You never want your prostate doctor to have both hands on your shoulders when he's doing the exam.
Dude, so it's got to be dietary.
Right. So now I can't eat, like tonight we had pizza. So I can only eat certain things. I think pizza's a no-no.
You
So
know what you-
like tonight I was 3 little squares of pizza, and I'm like bloated, feel like I'm about to be sick.
You know what you need to do?
What's that? An elimination diet.
Carnivore diet.
I mean, I'm not far off of it. Except
You are
for-
if you're eating pizza.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's like a lifestyle. I don't usually eat she cooks really healthy, so
Yeah.
we eat good food.
What do
During
you?
the day when you
what-
go to
yeah.
Jimmy
It's
John's.
when nobody's around, and
I had this theory that if you eat while you're standing up and no one sees you, did it really even happen?
right.
You know what I mean?
I do that all the time.
Right.
Yes.
Like, you
Lisa
know,
will call me, and I'll be like, she'll be like, I'll see her number, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta answer, and it's Lisa, so I answer, and she's like, hey, and I'm like, and then the drive-through lady's like, did you say 2 number 2s? And I'm like, no,
no.
it's 1 sandwich, no
No
bun.
bun.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's hard.
she's on my ass the other day about double bacon on BLT at Sonic.
Gotta live a little.
But I mean, you get like 3 little pieces of bacon, or you
Right.
get double and you get
An
6,
appropriate amount.
the regular BLT.
Right.
So
Dude, it's interesting. Like, I watch like Dr. Rhonda Patrick videos, and it's almost exhausting. Like, have you ever heard of her?
Is it the chick that's like, if you eat this plant, your penis will grow 8.5 inches?
I mean, she talks like very specific, like she'll be
I was thinking of
referencing
an
like
ad that kept coming across my Facebook. Never mind.
she'll be referencing like very specific like studies on mice, and I'm like, I don't know how pertinent that is to like humans, but I'm trying to think where I was going with that.
Talking about
Rhonda
mice.
Patrick, mice, and then
Double bacon.
yeah, but just like she's just a very smart individual that knows a lot about like
She drink a Dr. Pepper and double bacon every day.
I highly doubt that. But she almost goes too deep for me to like even follow and be like okay, you know, can't do everything. But it is what I've learned is like if you don't have it in your house, you're way less likely to eat bad.
Right.
Like if you only have good stuff, you're only going to be able to munch out on like good stuff. You know,
Not me. I go to Casey's, dude. There's one on every block.
she's got to take your keys, dude.
Well, I'm good. I'm at a weight where I don't want to go down anymore. I don't think just maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
but I'm down I'm down like 35 pounds from the last time we went snowmobiling.
It's a year ago.
That's why
Yeah.
Phil didn't want to go fucking snowmobiling this year. Is he seen me out at the lake this summer and thought, damn, Uncle
Come on.
Jesse done slimmed down. I can be able to call him fat this
He
year.
ridiculed you that one time. That's
Yeah,
all it took.
that's all it took, dude. I swear I came back after he was like, damn, Jesse, you looking fat. I came back and it was like fucking straight to the gym and lost that weight. So
That's good.
that's why Phil didn't want to go snowmobiling this year, is because he knew I was gonna
Well,
fucking
dude.
be king of the mountain once again.
You know what I'm saying? Well, dude, you said January 16th to the 19th you're going to Michigan. And then this is about I just want to tell my perspective.
Right.
We're going, boys. I'd already kind of made up my mind I wasn't going because I just been busy and
We were counting on you.
I know you need me.
Yeah.
But Justin gave me an out. He's like, dude, if you don't go, it's no big deal. You know, like okay, thanks. That's all I needed to hear. Biddle called me.
Right.
You going? I'm like, I don't know. I
It's
wanted to
still
lead, I
on.
wanted to lead
It's
him
still
on a
on.
little bit. I know,
Yeah.
but I want to just tell you my experience.
Okay.
I don't talk to you guys. I just assume it's assumed that I'm not going.
Right.
And it's January 16th. It's already here, you
Right.
know?
You're like,
And
well,
then
I
next
guess we're
thing
not
I
going.
know, I get a picture or a video from you at a beach. And you're like saying something that, you know, and I'm like, where are you at? And you're like, I just rode a side by side to France.
We were. I can't pronounce it. Can you?
Anguilla.
No one
let
can.
Chad
No one can
I
pronounce
said
that.
let Chad stay. I don't know.
Are
what
the
that means.
L's silent? No one knows.
And-
She said that they're not silent. It's
I
the West
was
Indies.
actually in Anguilla.
Beautiful.
I was in Anguilla, which is part of the Caribbean. I started off in Saint Martin. So the last episode, last episode we did, we were like, we had probably like 400,000 out or something like that.
Yeah.
We had a lot of money out
Yeah.
and no money coming in for
Right.
months. And we were really
Not
just
ideal.
kinda-
Yeah.
just
we're
kind of waiting. So we
right.
didn't know, but so yeah, now we just got back from St. Martin.
Checks came.
So checks cleared. We took a boat over to Anguilla and met some friends.
That's cool.
Uh,
What, friends local?
from Edwardsville.
Okay. Look at you
Little
guys.
secret friends, you know. We keep friends in
No big
secret
deal.
places all
Right.
over the country. In
Right.
case-
Stashed away. Globally, really.
Yeah, I don't share all my friends.
Right.
So, yeah, so we met them and just bounced back. But
That's
it was
cool.
very short notice. So we were going to Michigan. Our guys' trip this year is going to just go up north to DP. There's so many guys in Southern Illinois that love that place.
Yeah.
Like we're actually going to go meet a guy from I don't know, he's got Savannah Motors. Where's he from? Like Belleville?
Yeah.
Waterloo. He's from Waterloo. Yeah, he's from Waterloo. The guy I bought my boat off of, he's got a place up north, and we were going to meet up with them. And I didn't even get back with him on it. I kind of feel bad. I needed to call him. They ended up going on the trip. We were all supposed to go with them, but
Oh.
we called up there, and they weren't renting snowmobiles where we were going because there was no snow.
Not
Now
good.
there's a shit ton,
Right.
but at the time there was no snow. And Ellie, leave it to Ellie, she heard me talking to Justin about there not being no snow and them not renting sleds, and she's like,
I'll take it from here.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
We're going across the pond.
Yeah, so I heard you got a little time unscheduled. So
Right.
next thing I know, I'm on a 20-hour flight to fucking Anguilla that neither of us know how to pronounce, but it was a very
But
good
you
time.
were in the Netherlands, is that right?
Dutch, or
The half of Saint Martin, the island,
Yeah.
is the territory of the Netherlands where we stayed, but it's a very small island. So you cross driving around in a circle of this island. It takes all of an hour.
Right.
The top half is the territory of France. So we literally.
so when I told you I drove to France today, it was
was
only an
true.
hour.
And it was,
But
so
it was
cool.
true.
And it was like all of a sudden, all the signs are in French. It's French restaurants,
It was really
everyone's
cool.
Speaking French, it was so cool.
And
Cool
like
experience.
the Dutch sides where all the tourists go,
Yeah.
and
City.
Party City, and they tell you not to go over to the French side because that's where everybody, there's no partying over there. It's real quiet.
Right.
No, I think there's some.
So what do? We
You
go
went.
straight over there. I'm like, somebody's keeping a secret.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to keep us out.
Right.
And that's exactly what it was. They
It
all
was
live
fun?
over there.
Oh yeah.
It was a good time, but it was also sketchy. It was definitely like
The locals.
Were you
the
just you two?
locals. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
dude,
the
You were
locals.
shirtless on the side by side. Was
Yeah,
it warm?
85.
Oh,
Dude, it
man.
was beautiful. Like
nice.
the weather was perfect. At nighttime, 75.
Perfect. We love it.
Daytime, 85. No humidity, sunny, breezy.
Sounds like Hawaii.
It was very nice. The water was so blue. I want to talk about this next episode, but
Why wait?
not that we went to a nude beach, but it was just Lisa and I, so we went to a nude beach.
Had to be done.
The water was like so blue and the sand so white that you could see like 4 feet down to your feet, and you could kick the sand. And
Yeah.
it wouldn't be murky at all. You'd see your feet
Oh, that's wild.
kicking the white sand around. Like it was so clear.
I find it interesting. Like if you look at I get on Google Maps a lot, and like I'll just be looking, all over the
Oh, yeah.
place, dude. Like locally and like all over the world.
Right.
You'd be looking like coastal areas,
Mhm.
this beautiful water, and like the Bahamas and the Caribbean, and,
Oh, yeah.
and it's
Where we
like
were.
every single bit of coastline has been discovered. Not every single bit, but most has been discovered and commercialized.
Right.
Like humans have just
There's
been like,
houses all
we're
over.
going to make money off of this because this is beautiful.
Where we went at first it wasn't really that expensive, but Chad, I shit you not. Whenever like you're here, you're like, I made a little money. I feel
Mhm.
good.
Right.
You go to this place. We went to the harbor. There
You feel
was
broke.
500 yachts that looked like damn Carnival cruise ships.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like Jeff Bezos, just massive
Right.
yachts, and there was hundreds of them. And I'm like,
Right.
and then sailboats, just so much
Mhm.
money. You go to the airport, and all these little private jets are flying in all day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn,
How? Where does the money come from?
where? Like a jet just sitting on the taxiway all day. I
waiting.
drove by, and the engines were running. I'm thinking it's probably just burning the fuel because they don't want to keep it in there.
I think they say it's $1,000 an hour to, if you have a private jet, it's $1,000 an hour to go anywhere. So if you fly from LA to New York, that's 3 hours, right? Or 5 hours.
Right.
So it's $5,000.
It's probably more than that.
I don't think so.
Dude, you can't barely get me to come over
I think
for
it's more than
1,000.
that. Wonder how efficient that jet is.
They got to pay the pilots, pay them to
Right.
stay there,
That's
fly
true.
back. Little did you know that Lisa's actually been on private
PJ?
jets.
Vegas.
Look at you. That's cool.
Put that.
Apparently,
yeah.
it was a girls only trip.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't get invited on that
Right.
one or the other three.
In
But
that section. Well, hell, you can't say that because you got a boys' trip every year.
yeah,
But girls' trip to Vegas is different than a boys' trip to Montana.
especially now that I've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
I
I've
see
been
it
to
in a
Vegas as
different
well.
light.
Yeah. It's a wild place. Somebody was like, yeah, I feel like Nashville's like the new Vegas. I'm like, no.
Not even close, man.
Nope. Vegas is
Oh.
still Vegas. Nashville is not Vegas.
But if you want something cooler, go to St. Martin because the fucking island was popping.
Was it popping?
I'm talking
That's crazy.
whatever you wanted. So, like, if you're going to St. Martin and you're wondering, are there drugs in St. Martin? St. Martin. If you're going to St. Martin, so like most people are addicted to something, not me,
No.
but most people. So when they get there, they're like, damn, is there weed on this island? Is there cocaine? MDMA? I'm just a connoisseur of like cigars. They had Cuban cigars. Hey, right there at the stores buy Cuban cigars. And we hopped in this taxi cab and this guy's like, I'm the local drug dealer. What do you want? And we're like, he was from Jamaica.
Your taxi cab driver?
Yeah, like right when we got in. I'm local drug dealer. I got weed, MDMA, cocaine. And before I could say no, he'd already handed me back a cup like this, and I looked in it, and it was full of bags of cocaine. I was like, "Here, dude."
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's like I'm good. So if you want to go to St. Martin and party, that's there also. We didn't, obviously, because we got kids, and it terrifies us now. But
Right, you
know,
don't want to die.
yeah, that's what I told the guy. I'm like, "Thanks, bud, but
Right.
even if I wanted to, I wouldn't because you hear about Mexico and fentanyl and shit." So.
Right.
You
Sorry
ever
about
seen
that.
Steve Urkel in the porno? Did you watch that porno with Steve
No,
Urkel?
did he have?
Oh, dude, Steve Urkel had like a fucking 12-inch dong.
Dude, Steve Urkel was actually a stud.
He was in like 3 or 4 pornos after Saved by the Bell, so I had to check it out. And
Saved by the Bell, you mean Family Matters.
Yeah.
yeah, and I was thinking of the wrong
You're
one.
stuck on Saved by the Bell.
I'm thinking of the wrong one. Who's the guy off of
Oh,
Saved by
Dustin Diamond.
Yeah,
That fucker. He's dead, isn't he?
I don't know.
Is that true? I think so.
I don't think
Might have made that up.
It's a waste of a big hammer if he is.
Man, I think
so.
he,
Porno? Dustin?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he done pornos.
I think he
right
is
after.
dead.
Is he?
Dustin Diamond. He's dead to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Me
I washed
too.
my hands with him.
yeah,
He
So-
did die in 2021.
See, I thought so.
Of cancer. That's
really.
crazy.
Who is he? He wasn't Urkel. He was
Screech.
Screech.
She's trying to, girls basketball game, senior night. Yeah, it is. And it's like rainy night. They don't have anything tonight, which is a first. Because Emory has cheer practice or a game.
Every
Cheer's
other
a
night.
basketball game. And then Ezra has basketball. And then indoor track started, or not indoor track, but indoor track practices started. And man, these kids got a lot.
They got a lot going on, but now they can drive themselves.
That is a big plus.
Except,
Ezra can't,
yeah,
but
I mean, he probably could.
he could. He drives
But-
side by side. You drive side by side. You can drive anything.
Right.
Um,
You would think. You would
Uh-oh.
think, but Mason got his permit.
oh,
not to rag
no,
on
it doesn't
Mason.
translate.
It doesn't translate somehow. Like he can go rip up on the side by side, and he gets in a car. He'll pull out in front of a car and just keep going 5 mile an hour. And like the car behind us is flying up. I'm like,
Right.
"Go, Mason, go!" And then he'll
Right.
punch it, and we'll be like,
Dude, I don't know how the driver's ed teachers do it.
I don't
Like all
either.
they got's a brake, which you need more than that. I want a steering wheel and a gas pedal, and
Wonder
I
how
want to be able to shut theirs off.
Wonder how many times they're like holding the brake and the kid's giving it gas, and they're like the car's
A
like,
lot, dude. I mean, when I was in driver's ed, I had a girl that had never driven before, ever, and I was terrified. I was sitting in the back seat like, this is bullshit that I have
Right.
to be driving with this girl. You know,
Right.
we had to get on the interstate. She had to merge.
Dude,
It
I
was
went through like
bad.
the Echo driver's ed.
Ooh, that's probably way worse.
Like I didn't even go through driver's ed in high school. I went through Carbondale, pay $50 and you go to this little night school
Mhm.
driver's ed.
Yeah, that was worse.
They didn't
probably.
provide driver's ed in the 8th grade. So when I turned 16, I had to go to an outsource driver's ed to get my license because, you know,
Right. What are you gonna do? You got your license. It's valid.
yeah, now
Yeah. I went to the DMV the other day.
I
Not
got
a great
connections, dude. I
Do
got
you?
connections. I can get you in and out of there. Lex.
Andy.
Oh shoot, that's
And Nikki.
That's Marion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you need Carbondale?
No, I think Benton's a great DMV.
Mm,
Great DMV. It's small.
never even
It's
crossed
never
my mind.
crowded. Dude.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
have.
very- I saw some sticker like sign one day and it said like number ranked or voted number 2 in the state for customer service. And I said that ought to be number 1 because you guys are incredible.
Did you know that McCanda is the biggest township in Illinois?
That seems like it doesn't make sense. What's a township?
I don't know, but like I was lost one time because I got an address to McCanda, which is just one street with like 3 little stores connected. And I went to McCanda and I pulled up the address and it was like 25 minutes away, all the way over on 148. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I drive over there and I'm like, why you got a McCanda address? And the customer was telling me that McCanda has the most square footage or whatever of any township.
That's
But nobody would
interesting.
know that. But it goes all the way from like 148 all
To
the way over to
51.
51.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
McCanda's
never-
a great
Explain
town.
a township.
Okay.
Please
So,
do.
like, the city of Heron
Mm-hmm.
is Heron city limits, but then there are parts that are outside city limits. Like you might live in Blairsville Township, but you have a Carterville mailing address because Blairsville, that's an example, doesn't have a post office. They might.
Right.
Or you might live in Heron School District and have a township of, you live in township of, I don't know, there's a million of them.
Okay,
Is it on
Marion,
Google? Did you look?
Marion, White Ash.
Yes, so they're all townships in this big
Right.
city.
Uh,
So as a township,
but
that
McCanda
makes
ain't a
sense.
city.
So does McCanda get swallowed up by Carbondale?
They must be their own thing.
It's its own
They
entity.
must be their own. That's why there's a
It's
difference
like
between
5
it.
people.
Dude, McCanda's a great little town.
I know.
Like-
I lost Lisa there one time, I think.
It's beautiful, you know. Once you get south of Carbondale, it's a different world.
Have you ever been like in the trippy part, like when they're having the festival, like on the acid in the back?
No, not
No.
really, but
It's
I-
crazy.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
I lost my whole ass girlfriend one time. It was during Vulture Fest, and just couldn't find her.
Eventually though, you got her back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's
only a half a city block wide.
it's like half city block wide. And I
Right.
remember we had cell phones at the time. We were way younger, and I could not find her anywhere. But like I was lost in the back and the
Right.
front. You get in there, and it's like a garden of Eden. I don't know. It gets weird
yeah, it's interesting.
during Vulture Fest
Exclusively.
because you can go in the back, like
It's
you know,
interesting to say that though, like the back of what?
you know,
Stores.
the stores.
Oh, the
You've never
store?
done that?
No.
You guys should go down. We should all go get ice cream and go hike.
I can get you. Yeah, we'll go hike. It is. It's a little hike.
Yeah.
It's a maze. Yeah,
That's
it goes
cool.
up like koi ponds. It's real hobbit like. You'll like go up. Don't you, Lisa? Like go up
Yeah,
multiple
it's
flights.
like
Like you'll be
stairs.
upstairs
Are we talking in the woods or in?
behind the
Built
stores.
into
It's like
the-
built into the city. It's like
the-
behind where you
Yeah,
shop
yeah.
and get ice cream.
Yeah.
Like you just start going into the back of the shops and you disappear into this like weird little
That's interesting.
garden of Eden. Yeah, it was. And yeah,
That is
once you
cool.
get backdoor access and you're back in there, there's a lot of cool shit going on.
Right. Yeah, but
I
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's great down there though.
I love it.
Cobden, Alto Pass, Pomona.
I've got a guy that
McCanda.
is like tripped out by me
Yeah.
that I see. I saw him at where did I see him first? Eating ice cream at McCanda. I've told this story possibly, but he's eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And he's playing the guitar and I'm listening, but like we look like, unlike him. He was a
Right.
hippie, like dreaded
Right.
out, kind of playing a guitar.
Yeah.
We're the ones listening. So then
Mhm.
like 2 days later, Lisa and I stumble into a rainbow gathering.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like late at night. We're in Cesar and like we went entered this building that didn't have no signs on it. Lisa and me, because we like to party, we could hear music.
Right.
So we're in there and they're like, "Have you been in the back?" And we're like, "No, we didn't even know there was a back." And they're like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, come on, let's go to the back." So we go in there and it's like really rainbow gathering. They're all in a circle, kumbaya and shit, but there's still vendors.
Yeah.
We're talking and I'm like, "What's going on?" But long story short, I run into this guy there.
Yeah.
We're at a lock-in. Like, you ever been to church where they're like, "You got a lock-in sleepover"?
Yeah.
They tell us this like an hour or two after being there. I don't know what's going on,
You
but
didn't
there's
sign
like
up for a
people
lock-in.
sleeping
Right.
all over. It's like a bar with people sleeping and smoking pot
Mm-hmm.
and vendors.
Yeah.
And they're telling me a little bit about themselves. And I'm like, "Have you ever heard of the rainbow people?" Because all my life I've heard of the rainbow people that travel around in this like mythical group of hippies that trades canned goods for
Yeah.
weed and shit. You know?
Right.
I've always had a lot of fucking canned goods, but no weed. And I've never seen the
Right.
rainbow people. And I'm like asking them, I'm like, you guys heard of the rainbow people? And they're like, "Yeah, we're the rainbow
We are
people."
the
They said,
rainbow
"This is the yearly gathering of this area. We're from like Colorado and all these crazy places."
Really?
It's like midnight. Me and Lisa are drunk. And they're like, "Yeah, you're at a lock-in sleepover." And there was people sleeping all around. I didn't know what was going on. I was not
Right.
catching on. So I'm like, "A what?" And they're like, "You're in a lock-in sleepover." And I'm like, "Right now?" Like, so I tell Lisa, I'm like, "Can we do it, please?" So we did stay for a while. But I go back into the front room where it's like super smoky and they're like singing guitars. And I go sit down in this big, like the furniture was real nice. Like a king's fucking throne is how I can describe it. And like 10 of them sitting around a big fireplace.
Right.
And I sit down and I look over. I sit down and I look over and it's the same guy from 2 days before when we were hiking
Yeah.
at the ice cream place. And I said, "Hey, I know you." And he looked at me like this.
Oh no.
Like crazy as hell. Like I was a fucking FBI agent. He
Right.
was already thinking this at Makanda, like, who's this fucking guy? Just play your music, get the dollar, right? But now I'm at his fucking rainbow gathering, and I'm like pointing at him, and he's tripping hard. And I'm like, hey, I know you. And he looked over and he was like, so, but me and Lisa are both watching him. His eyes got so big, and he
Man.
turned away. And then he didn't look back for like solid. And me and her are dying laughing. Like we bust out loud laughing to where everybody around us starts laughing. And everybody's like, we don't know what we're laughing about. And it's this dude that's got his back to us. So he wouldn't look at us no more. So
Wow.
we ended up bouncing out. We were going to stay the night, but I was wanting to stay the night. But a dude came up and he's talking to us and he's like, yeah, this is so and so. And then his girlfriend comes over with like a stuffed animal, a Mickey Mouse stuffed
Okay.
animal.
Yeah.
And she's holding it like a baby.
Ooh, weird.
And she gives it to the guy and he takes it like a baby.
Also
And the whole
weird.
time he's talking, he's like, me and my son. And he's saying son. And then it hits me that he's calling the Mickey Mouse his son. And they were treating it like, oh, all right, we got to get the fuck out of here before we are locked in here. So we get out of there. But then a few nights later, no, not a few nights, probably a few weeks later, they've got the Red Rock Amphitheater, like hippie fest. Not that I'm
Oh,
a
I know
fucking
what
hippie,
you're
but
talking
golly.
about, like with
Down
the
in
big
the
wooden thing.
cave?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Lisa, let's go see this Red Rock Amphitheater
Right.
hippie thing, right? So we get tickets, but something came up and Lisa couldn't go.
Food poisoning or something.
She wasn't feeling
Ooh.
good. So I took Brooks and we went down there and the dude was working. So this is all like, he's working the thing and I'm in the bus and I drive by and I'm like staring at him. He's like, watches me ride by. The bus is going down because I see him. I'm like, that's that dude, you know? So I get in the window. I'm like, like this guy's just probably tripping his
Oh, I
ass off thinking,
guarantee
who
it.
the fuck
Paranoid.
is this?
Worried sick.
So then a couple months later, we were in Carbondale walking down the strip and we saw him playing his guitar and we stopped.
Like, dude, look, we're destined to run into each other.
I was like, he was playing his guitar. I gave him a $10 bill and I was like, hey man, I'm not the cops. And he was like,
You just made that. He's probably been sick about
he
that.
was tripping, dude. He thought
Yeah.
I was following him. And I kind of was. Because like then once I'd see him, I would like
Make it a
purposely.
point. Yeah, to torment him.
Yeah.
People are wild, man. It's weird that that whole like world exists in Makanda and like everywhere, but it's
Everywhere.
interesting. That's like a little hub of unique individuals.
Hippies.
Yes, that's exactly right. Hippies, which isn't even like a derogatory term. That's just like a
No, they like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Let's get a drink.
If if you look at my hands, dude, all cut up from just like work. You know what I mean?
What the hell have you been doing? Fighting off cats?
I think just taking lights down. You know,
Right.
and it's cold, so like,
You guys left 5 billion
dude, I don't even.
colorful zip ties in a brand new like tube,
Yeah.
you know? All of them still there. I went upstairs and I was like, fucking
Where were they?
score. Go out in my barn. It looks like Christmas out there. Everything's
Hey.
zip tied with a colorful zip tie.
Dude, I don't even know. Who knows? Maybe
They're
we used them on your
upstairs.
porch or something. I don't
Right.
know.
That's a building downtown.
I've used that.
Oh, at the building we had. Oh,
Yeah.
ain't no telling.
I was happy. It
That's
was
great.
like one of those
Harbor Freight,
times I went
buddy.
up to unplug them,
Mm-hmm.
which I couldn't because the cord was like out the window and I tried to open the window. So for the holidays, because we love the holidays
Yep.
at the May family
Mm-hmm.
excavating office downtown, we had
Mhm.
professional lights installed, which is a good thing. If you want to talk a little business, Chad does lawn care. So it's seasonal. You know, he's got like 7, 8, 9 months probably where you can
Mhm.
really hammer out.
All right.
But then he's got a few months where there's nothing. So Chad being the OG, what year is this? Like 25?
25.
25 years he's been hanging lights in the wintertime.
This isn't year 25. I'm only
Oh.
35. I'm sorry. It is year 25 technically, and that it's 2025. Started
Oh.
doing it in 09. Had a
So
little.
since 09, so that's 25 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
he's been doing this. So
Yeah.
all the other guys that are doing it now, like Chad's the OG, but it's good to diversify yourself a little bit. So you're like, damn, what am I going to do? I can push some snow.
Right.
Everybody knows that sucks, but it's doable.
Yeah, we don't love it.
Or you can hang Christmas lights, which he does a phenomenal job. He does our house, our building. Never once has he sent a bill. You know,
I don't work for money. I just work for gratitude.
I don't know if he gets, if he gets paid or what. But.
Yeah, no, I just do it all pretty much for free.
Yeah. Great company. So
right.
If you want lights done for free or cheap, call Chad.
Yeah. We got the house down. We got to get the building down. I'm just dreading it because it's like
the house is off.
House is off.
I didn't know that.
Yesterday, maybe.
Nice.
I wasn't here, but yeah.
The building's funny because we're the only ones still rocking the lights at night.
What are you gonna do? We're here to have a little bit of fun. Yeah.
We finally unplugged them.
I just unplugged them yesterday, but the city hall has theirs done in lights too.
Yeah.
So they're like waiting for us.
I'll go all year, buddy.
I actually thought about leaving them, like, because you have 4th of July, we could plug it in lights.
Yeah. Right.
So, and plus, it's kind of okay to be a little tacky.
A little bit.
I want to leave them up all year just to make it like, we're stuck up in Carterville, but that motherfucker left his lights up all year long on Main Street.
No big deal. He's happy to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And if you wait like 9 or 10 months, it's fine.
Right. Because it's already close again.
Yeah. You're right back in. So, yeah. You're just starting the holiday a little bit early. Right. But anyways, yeah. So we're taking lights down right now, which is why my hands are.
So what's your next step?
Next step, dude, is lights
More
down,
snow?
and then I hope not. I don't love pushing snow. But we get the lights down, and then we just hope it's springtime. We got a lot of cleanup work from this storm, dude.
Right.
Whoa,
right.
That ice was devastating to trees. I love trees, so to see them like
how
snap
did you
off.
fare during the snowstorm? So we live in southern Illinois, and we got an ice storm. Dump like an inch of ice,
dude, more than that,
a couple inches of ice, and then snowed on top of it. Snow.
I pre-salted. I was like, I'm gonna be on this
because I did too. My sidewalks.
If you pre-salt and then it snows and you push the snow, it's perfect because then it gets down to the bare concrete or asphalt. Well, if you pre-salt and then it ices, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I got out there at midnight. It was a solid sheet of ice, and I was like, oh no! So I had to go salt again to melt the ice, so that I could push the melted ice. Otherwise, I was just gonna push the snow off of the.
Did you lose power?
Oh yeah, dude, for like a whole day. But I wasn't even home. I was working. I worked, dude, for 24 hours straight. But I started at midnight, so I was up from 8 a.m. to midnight.
Right.
So I'm not a mathematician, but that's 12. That's 14 hours.
Right.
Right. And then I push for 24 and 14. You do the math. 38.
I think it's 16, but I'm not sure.
24 and 14, 16.
Look at me.
No.
Hang on a second.
You said
8 to 8 is 12.
You said 8 to 12.
8 to 8 is 12.
Right. So
plus,
you need 4 more.
That's 6. Oh, shit.
16.
That's what I'm saying. I was tired. My math is still not good.
So a lot of hours.
16 hours plus the 24. That was 36 hours I was awake.
Right.
And at that 36th hour, I was actually home at that point. But I was like, oh, I can see how people would like lose their mind if you stayed up too late.
He was up fucking a long time,
dude,
almost
a long
2 days.
time. No one knows how long I was awake, but I was tired,
delirious.
Yeah, and it was weird though.
Pushing snow the whole time, or what? Out parking lots.
Yeah.
So what do? You get like 10, 15 contracts, just people that you already have contracts with?
Mostly my big stuff, I already do. And then like I did a couple residential because like people I mow for texted me worried like I need to get out of my house, even though they didn't, because most people don't need to leave. Like the amount of like Kias I saw on the road when it was bad,
Me too.
I'm just like, why? Go home, please.
Love
it. Dude, I was driving my truck, my dually, trailer, and skid steer. There was a couple power tree trimming trucks like working, right?
Right.
And I'm cruising like next to them. They got half the road blocked. I'm cruising next to them. I'm on the phone with my wife.
Distracted driving.
Dude, I'm cruising. I'm like doing like 4 miles an hour.
Right.
And my freaking truck, my trailer just starts sliding off the road. And I was like, shit. Just slid off truck, trailer, skid steer, skid off into the ditch.
Skid steer too.
And it just whoop right off into the ditch. And I was like, Dude, it was this much ice.
What'd you do? Pulled it with a skid steer?
No, buddy,
No?
I couldn't, dude.
Couldn't get the trailer.
The ditch had just got like scooped out by the city,
Oh, it's
so it's
bogged out.
deep, dude.
Oh.
So I had nothing. I ended up calling a tow truck.
No, SI Towing and Recovery?
No,
Should have.
they couldn't
That's
get
my buddy
there.
Bill Miller.
But they came and lifted up the back of the trailer, dude.
Set
Lifted
it
up the
up.
front. It was more. It took a while, but
Tree
like,
trimmers in the fucking way.
They
Didn't
tri-
even help.
they
They had a
tried
damn
to help.
boom
They
right
didn't try to
there.
help. They pretended to try to help.
Yeah.
But it was so much ice, dude. There was nothing you could do. Like
Right.
even the tow truck barely got me out. But it was gnarly, dude. I was standing out back at my house before I went out to work at like 11:30 p.m. You know, I got the woods behind my house,
Right.
and I just stood out there on the back porch for like 5 minutes.
Dude,
It was
you
like
hit some.
pow, 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 trees falling, dude.
Right.
It was bad.
I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think your woods could be the woods from the coal mine where the Heron Massacre and all that took
It
place.
was.
So I've been like doing a lot of book reading.
Well, it started right down the road from there, and they walked, dude. They walked up. I think what's Crenshaw.
Right.
And I think that's right in my area there. Dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all a bunch of coal mines right there.
Yeah.
But I think yours, I think that's where they walked. I know they marched them from like the training center side, but I
Mhm.
think that whole area
Yeah.
right there was just big coal mine, like from that big strip cut you got
Right.
over.
It's hard to think about what it looked like before there were roads, you know. But
They had big drag lines in there.
Yeah.
To make that hill that you got back there, that was a big
I walked
machine.
it. I walked it the other night, dude, and it was steep and just tall.
It's
I think
just
it's like
humongous.
75 feet from the bottom up, you know,
Right.
straight up. And it's so cool though. There's so many cool rocks and stuff in those woods, but like I want to take out some trees and then get some sick trails. Like we need to be able to go up on a side by
Right.
side, you know. Like we
I
have a
wish
good
I could
perimeter,
have
but-
some of your trees. We thought about planting a woods because we've got 20 acres of fucking grass and ponds.
I know.
So we're like, should we like just let the front yard grow up in the woods?
I mean, you can start planting them, but the best time to plant is like 20 years ago or today,
Right.
you know. So it's like,
Right.
you know, that's the thing, man. I had a logging company come out like last week to look at my woods, like just a section of my woods, because I'm considering putting cows out there.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I need to clear these woods. Well,
Don't do it.
they broke my heart. They're like, we want the biggest ones.
Only.
I'm like, well, that tree's 70 years old. What's it doing? It's a freaking sick tree. I
Dude,
don't want to cut
they
it
will make a
down.
mess.
Oh, I know. They're gonna leave the tops. I was like,
They're gonna leave the top.
it was
they're
like
gonna leave
2
the
minutes in.
stumps.
I was like, not interested.
You can't get those stumps out when you cut them off low to the
Yeah.
ground like that. You can't dig them out as easy with the tractor. You gotta have
Right.
that leverage. Whole tree or at least
Yeah.
like 4 foot, something to grab
Yep.
onto. And it's just a stump cut off and it's that big.
I want the opposite. I want the big trees to stay, and I want the small junk to cut out. So I had 2 of my guys go in there the other day, and I was like, gave them 2 new chains for chainsaws. I'm like,
Yeah.
anything that's dead or dying or looks weird, cut it out.
Right.
And they just went to town for like 8 hours.
Nice.
It's like, just leave them where they lie, and I'll just grapple bucket them out, you
Right.
know. So we'll see. There's,
Back to the ice storm.
yeah,
You want to know what we did?
probably something fun. I know you went snowmobiling at least at some point
We did
around
go
the area.
snowmobiling, but we anticipated the power being out. We had a whole lot of work to do.
Mhm.
So we went out to Walker's Bluff Casino and Resort, which is right here by our house.
Yep.
Who always has power, we called. And we're like, hey, if power goes out, what are you guys going to do? And they're like, oh, we've got generators.
Right.
We're on.
Yeah.
So we packed up the homestead
Mm-hmm.
and left Did Chi went with us. Even the dog went with
They
us.
took dogs too?
Yeah. So
All the time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we just packed up, went to the casino, and had dinner at the nice restaurant.
Yeah.
Nice storm. I was gambling.
So the whole family? Kids and
Everybody.
everything?
Yeah,
stayed-
we
you
went
stayed at a
swimming.
hotel overnight? That's
Yeah, we
cool.
got 2 rooms. So
2 nights.
yeah, we started with 1 room,
Yeah.
and then I realized, wait a minute, there's a door here. We could
Ooh,
have
we'll
2
take
and
that
have
other
like an
room.
apartment. So
Right.
we called downstairs and got the boys their own room.
Yeah, that's
That was
cool.
like connected. So we had
Right.
like the double joint thing going
That's
on.
cool.
It was cool. So Chi and the boys stayed in 1 room.
Yeah.
Then I stayed in another.
So where'd you guys eat? Ruthie's?
Ruthie's
Love
or
Ruthie's.
Vine and
Yeah. 22 and Vine.
22 and Vine
Yeah.
for breakfast. You
Yeah.
know, coffee. They
Yeah.
have Starbucks. So it was real good. We did get 2 jobs to push snow, which I don't do.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought me a $2,500 snow plow for the
Yeah.
skid steer. I went to the first one. By the time I paid my guy, and the time it took us,
Lost money.
I think it cost me $10. I went to the second job, which was somebody called me, and I pulled up, and it was right on a busy road, and there was nowhere to pull in or park, and I was just like, let's
Right.
go home.
Yeah.
So we went home,
I bought
and we got on the snowmobiles and rode all day.
That's awesome.
And
I bought a snowmobile or a snow plow off Biddle.
I knew.
Yeah.
I was there.
Were you?
Yeah, I was with you. I was jealous. It was like $3,000, that silver one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
What is it, like a Boss or something?
No, it's Bobcat.
He always had
from a-
Bobcat brand. I know. I got
Yeah.
that roller off of it.
Oh,
It was
did you?
steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Does it work good?
It does.
Mine sucked. My tracks on that ice.
Well, the ice sucks. So
Yeah.
the plow's not good for ice. You gotta have a bucket, a smooth tooth bucket,
Right.
to get under that ice. You know,
Yeah,
there's not
popping
enough
up.
down pressure.
Right.
So I ended up buying a snow bucket off Randy Pullum, which
Nice.
I didn't even use.
The box?
Yep.
I was going to buy that instead of the plow.
Yeah.
But that damn tilt angle thing got
And
me.
dude, they're spring loaded. So if you hit a curb or it's so much better. You
So the box
destroy
ain't like
stuff.
that. The box
No,
is going
box
right
is like
through.
a bucket, dude. So I
Right.
didn't use the box at all because I was just worried. But when it's snow, just straight up snow, the plow's great. I mean, it windrows like crazy, so you just gotta like
Sit there and
accept
work
it.
windrows,
Yeah,
right.
just plow, and then clean up the windrows. But I like it. I don't like pushing snow per se, but it's few and far between.
We
Thank
took
God.
the week off and had a retreat. We had everybody out here. We had
Oh
Brooks.
yeah.
Brooks went and bought a new damn Can-Am
Mhm.
700 big. He's got a chainsaw mount on there.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's tickled shitless. My dad was over acting a fucking fool.
I guarantee it.
I mean, you would never believe that this guy made it through life this far if you saw the things he was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he was in his, I don't even know what he's got, like a Ranger
Yeah.
570.
Yeah.
And the dog, his crazy ass dog Willie, chewed out
Yeah.
the seatbelts of his truck, of his buggy. Like this dog will just eat whatever. And my dad doesn't even, he just loves it.
Right.
Thinks it's the smartest dog in the world. And,
He had Willie at our house too.
did he have Willie at your house, dude?
You guys were there.
He'll chew your seatbelts, dude. This
She was,
dog's nuts.
Or he was sitting
He
in the
was.
passenger side, dude.
He
remember that
was.
one
Yes.
hill we went down?
Yes,
Yeah.
you met Willie.
Yeah.
Willie jumped out the other day. It's icing. My dad brings him out. Every time he brings him out, I'm like, why the fuck did he bring that dog?
Right.
You know?
Never.
And he just lets him off the leash. Willie takes off running. Little 6-year-old or 8-year-old kid standing on the ice. Willie just tackles him like it ain't nothing. Runs right through him. He runs over to the shop door, stops, drops a big old shit. I'm like, this is my dad's dog. I'm like, dude, get your dog out of here.
Right.
So, my dad, do you have TikTok?
No.
We'll show you, remind us before we leave, show you the video of my dad on TikTok. So
Yeah.
he's just living his best life in this buggy with no seat belts out there. Like little kids are out. We got snowmobiles. Kids are on their 4-wheelers. My dad's using them like for a berm.
Right.
He's coming around. He's fishtailing. Like Lisa's out there all, prettied up. Got her pretty hair and shit on and looking
Right.
all pretty. And here comes my dad and just romps, rooster tail right in her face. Like he don't give a shit. He's
wide
out
open.
there like sliding into my fence. He slid around. He got like 5 feet from the fence. Next time he got about 3 feet from the fence. I said, I know he's not gonna hit that damn fence.
Right.
And sure enough, he hits the fence. But then when he comes up, he's like, woo! Did you see that fence post knock me back around? He was like, woo, good thing that thing was there. And I'm like, dude. But so then
He's wild, man.
people might have been drinking, it was a week off. We
Right.
were having
Who's
fun.
to say?
So
Right.
I saw my buddy's daughter that's like 8 in my dad's buggy.
Yeah.
And my dad's just romping. He's doing like figure eights. And I'm like, dude, he don't got seatbelts. Like, side by side. You want a
Right.
seatbelt? Here goes my dad. Whoa, goes up this massive hill we got out back.
Yeah.
Almost turns over, stopped on top, and then starts to turn over this way and punches it. Whoa, and romps out of it. I was like, holy cow, dude. And then he like pulls up and he's like, whoa, woo. He is so funny.
Dude, you remember Big Daddy rolling that side by side in Montana?
They're similar.
They're so similar, yes.
Very, yeah.
We should get them together.
Oh,
They'd be like just
fuck.
ramming into shit.
Yeah. 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 That
Big
huge.
Daddy, it made no sense. Like we all were out in Montana side by side, and Big Daddy's Chad and Philip's dad.
Yeah.
And there's just like the
Well,
power line that
power
we've
line
talked about.
trail, but this hill on snowmobiles is hard to get up.
Yes.
Biddle mangled his that first day right off the bat.
Terrifies me every year. I have been down and up it.
I know, but it's getting worse every year. It's like erosion. I don't know. It's the first year we were goons, dude, and we went
didn't
down
know.
it. Yeah. And now I'm like, are you sure we want to go down? Like, it could ruin our whole day.
Could ruin the whole week here,
yeah,
boys.
Right. So this was in July, though. So the really steep hill, which everything's like tamed down when it's got freaking 4 feet of snow on it. Well, there's no snow. It's July. My dad is like, I'm going to go up it.
There was a trail like halfway up and it plateaus and then
Yeah.
it goes up again.
Right.
You could see where people went up and where it plateaued, they turned around and came down. So we're like, okay, Big Daddy's going to go up there and turn around, which would have been a good feat to do.
Yeah.
But when he got to the plateau, he just kept going.
He
And
kept
we're
going.
like, what? Where's he going? And he got so far up this hill all the way. Like he was up and then he was broke over even.
Yeah,
like
he
he
was
was
close.
breaking
Yeah.
over, man. And he didn't make it. He started spinning. So now we're all like, ooh, because it's like rather sit still
Right.
or do something. And he was doing something. So then we're like, ooh. So he was backing down and he backed down to a tree. So he was using his head and he thought he was going to use a tree to
Mhm.
then turn around, let his cab that was a rental machine
Right.
rest against his tree and use it to like guide the thing around till he could face downhill.
Mhm.
And he was sideways on the tree, and right when that cab, he tried.
Right when he cleared it,
right
just
when he
boop.
cleared it, flipped over.
His arms all bloody.
He didn't shut it off, so it hydro locked.
Yeah, it
Remember?
did,
We had to
yeah.
pull him back.
Dude, and then you get out there in those remote areas and it's like not good to get in a bad spot. Biddle that one year, separate from the big hill, this last year when it was negative 43 degrees that day, he smokes that A-arm. That old boy came back. I saw this guy online the other day. He put a log across the two skis.
I did too. Strap the two skis.
Said,
keep
got to
them
get it
straight.
back somehow.
I seen that.
That's what we should have done with Biddles because it was called Mangled. Then Brady came out there. Or not Brady, but Brady's to do the same. My brother.
Yeah, this was like Brady's cousin that's
Yeah,
on meth.
yeah. I was so glad to see him fall. Not because I had anything against him, but
Just 'cause
because
you're
I
so
wanted.
confident.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll ride it back, and he like went 4 feet.
Yeah, he's
over
like,
the
I got this
bars.
berry pickers. Fucking punched it and shot over the handlebars.
That's awesome.
To the point that we're like, hey, man, you want us to do it?
Right.
He was like wiping snow out of his face. He's like, I can do it.
He's like, you guys just go ahead and go.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Go back. And we finally left him. Or somebody might. Biddle.
We saw him.
Biddle took. He's like, oh, I
No.
need to stay. Did we leave him?
We ended up leaving him because remember we passed him later on just sitting on the trail like on the phone or
Yeah.
something. And we're like fucking sandbagging.
But Biddle wanted to like,
Yeah.
oh, follow him. It's
Oh,
my
yeah.
fault. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, it's
he's
my sled.
fine.
The guy's like, here's a new sled. Go ride the hell out of it. Middle's like, no,
Right.
no, I'm gonna go with you.
Right. He's a good guy.
These fucking guys are losers. I was gonna say lunatics and said losers.
Well, both.
Same. Yeah, he's right thinking the same.
He might
thing.
think. He might think both. He's not wrong on the lunatic part, but I hated that Justin broke his hand. We've been over that, but
So, Justin called me tonight, wanted
Did
to
he?
know about Michigan.
yeah,
I told
he
him
loves
closer.
Michigan.
He does. I told him closer to the end of February, I'd be open. So, are you just not gonna go, or you want to get in on it?
I don't want to commit on the podcast because then I'll be held accountable. All the viewers, you know what I mean? They'll be messaging me.
Right.
It's not out of the question. I'll say this, dude. I'm worried.
His
that,
number's 5495326.
Wes Lawrence has that tattooed on his arm.
Does he?
Yeah, on like his bicep.
That's funny.
5495326.
Oh, so get this. Night of the ice storm. I'm out. I mean, we just do fun shit all the time,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, hey, I got some snowmobiles, so might as well just go out and run
Right.
around town and act crazy for the night. 'Cause
Right.
Nobody knows who the hell's on the snowmobiles.
True.
It's like Ghost Rider from back in the day on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Only I'm on a snowmobile.
Are you talking Nicolas Cage?
No.
Oh.
Ghost.
Compared you to Nicholas.
Yeah. You're thinking Montana Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a different Ghost Rider that's on YouTube that
Yeah.
runs from the cops.
Okay. Gotcha.
But good
Yeah.
good call.
Right.
So we go out, Justin, me, and Brooks.
Yeah.
We go out snowmobiling, And we hit up a bar. We went to the casino.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few. I'm like, this sounds like a great time to go to next level and do some jumps on a snowmobile. So we
Right.
call up Wes. He's like, yeah, come on over. We go over there. It's like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And we're just out there.
Let her
Old
eat.
1982 damn
Right.
Ski-Doo 300 just ramming. Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Wes was riding them. We were out there
That's
just having a good time. We hit probably 10 or 15 laps.
That's cool.
Just having a good time.
You went around the whole track just like normal? That's cool.
Dude, I was letting her rip, hitting the tabletop,
Yeah.
jumping. I was drunk, dude.
Right.
He had a video fucking posted on Facebook. I was too drunk to be acting a fool, so there was like this big hill right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I had a cigarette hanging out of my mouth, no helmet, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock. And I was like, watch this, boys. And I punch it, and I go up to the top, and I didn't have enough speed to just carry over it. I was
Yeah.
hoping to have a little traction, but since it was all ice,
Right.
the snow will, I don't remember if it went over to the right or what. But I come running down the hill, and I fall right in front of them. And then I jump up, and I fall again, and I slide down the rest of the hill. So the next morning I woke up and I pull up Facebook and I like scrolling.
There
There
you
I
are.
am with a cigarette hanging on my mouth, like, watch this, boys. I called Wes. I was like, hey. I was like, I don't care about the falling down the hill, but at least I don't really like it when I smoke. I was like, can you take that cigarette out of my mouth? So he took it down.
And then you bust yourself out.
I mean, she knows, but she don't want me to
Don't
fucking.
right.
She don't want me to be the Marlboro man on Facebook.
Right.
Hey, down here at Main Excavating, I'm gonna show you how to get up this hill.
I'll tell you what.
And then I come running back down face plant.
Marlboro, man. That was crazy. What a crazy time.
Man, imagine all
They
that good stuff.
glorified
Did you
him.
have that stuff?
What?
The Marlboro merch?
Uh-uh.
No, your parents weren't Marlboro
No,
smokers.
they didn't smoke.
My dad and stepmom would smoke packs. They'd smoke them, chain smoke them to get those $5. Each side of a Marlboro pack used to have 5 miles a point, and you'd tear off the side of the box, and you saved like 1,000 of them, and you get a catalog. You look in there, you get a Marlboro coat, a Marlboro tent,
Really?
a Marlboro boat, like blow up luggage.
That's interesting.
Like, most kids like, it's exciting to sit around and count coins to go on vacation, like the family's vacation fund and it's
Right.
coins, and you're like rolling coins. But in my family,
wanted
we
that
counted those
Marlboro.
miles.
Right.
We would have bags,
Get
like
that
brown
merch.
bags, because it was before plastic. So
Yeah.
we would have like big brown grocery bags
Yeah.
full of miles, and we would just sit at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Because we get to 40,000, we get to 10. We'd count them
Oh,
up. I'd have my little 1,000,
Yeah.
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
1,000 miles, and that was like exciting
Dude.
because,
That's hilarious.
dude, I used to like 6th grade. I had that Marlboro. Yeah, I had that
I can't believe
Marlboro.
I screwed that math problem up so bad.
Yeah, you had it all over the place. But
Damn.
I remember canoeing down the creek, in that Marlboro boat,
Yeah.
and all your friends are envious. Like, damn, that some bitch's parents got it going on,
Right. You were decked out head to
Like,
toe.
head to toe,
Yeah.
Marlboro. So yeah, that was probably 90s, 80s. But yeah, I loved counting those Marlboro miles.
Right.
I knew 20 was 100. You know
No
what I mean?
big
So
deal.
bam, bam, bam. 20,
Right.
There's 100. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
200 was 1,000.
No
I
big
just
deal.
bust them out like
Right.
that. My parents would be so proud. You counted 10,000 miles today. We're gonna get you
We're getting you a coat.
the glasses. I'd get the glasses that said Marlboro
Yeah.
across the top or whatever.
That's
So,
hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed. That's a whole nother world.
it was exciting.
I
It was a
guarantee it.
whole just a
You guys grew up in different parts of Hearst.
yeah. We grew up in different parts of Hearst.
Yeah, that's
every
true.
every 2,000 I'd get a bush light. So
That's all it took.
yeah.
Yeah. 10 bush lights and 20,000 points, and you had
got
the
a new
world. Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't know about that. There was so much.
My grandparents smoked.
The catalog was like a Sears catalog. Like, it was a big one,
Yeah.
full of shit. Like, you would flip through a radio, Marlboro radio. It just like Ollie's.
Oh, the store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like a cheap knockoff of shit with Marlboro
Right.
stamp on it.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Good times. Good. Again, your childhood was
Interesting.
impeccable. Yeah. That's pretty wild. So, did you live in Hearst most of your childhood?
Only every other weekend,
Okay.
except for we discovered the other night there was a year or two where my dad had to do weekends. So, so I guess since I saw him on the weekends
Yeah.
for that time, I would be with my mom.
Yeah. Throughout where'd she live?
Heron.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I only got to like Hearst was like a mythical Disneyland because
Right.
when I went there, I got to ride all weekend, count Marlboro miles,
Yeah.
drink Busch Light. You
Right.
know what I mean? Ride and run from the cops.
Yeah,
So
11 years
yeah.
old. The hell of
so like
Yeah.
if he wasn't doing weekends that weekend, boy, we running from them cops.
Right.
We counting them miles.
Yep. That's so funny. Hearst, man. That's a good town.
It is a good town.
Yeah.
We've already talked about the mud wrestling they would do. Like it was on the map. They would dig out the park for mud wrestling. Do you remember that? Or no, not mud wrestling, mud volleyball. Do you remember that?
Dude, I actually don't remember that, but
You don't remember that. How old are you?
35.
A lot changed in 5 years.
I guess so. You
Because-
40?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
I'm a Leo, so it's 7/23/84.
You're at the party.
King of the jungle.
Shit, you're right. I was at the party.
Yep.
Sorry, it was months ago. It
Dude,
was a
I
great
don't-
party.
I
Good
don't
job,
know
Lisa.
anybody's birthday. I had
7/23. I'll remember that. Ellie, how old are you?
I just turned 37,
What's your birthday?
December 18th.
Shit, I think I maybe knew that. Happy belated birthday.
Oh yeah, you're just going to my birthday dinner, but you guys had
Oh,
your
yeah.
daughter's birthday, which obviously took precedence.
And Eli. They both
Yeah,
shared this
yes,
name.
and Eli.
Yeah.
So kind of
You missed out on a really good
I
time.
guarantee it. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn it. Yeah.
What'd you do New Year's?
I was in Florida. At the in-laws' house.
Is any of this federal freezing affecting what they got going on over there? Down there?
That's done.
That's done?
Yep, as of October. So, yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't federal, anyways. That was state. But wild. I'm so pumped that Trump's back,
He's back, baby.
and like the media is like grilling him on questions,
Right.
but like everyone
It don't
supports
fucking
him,
matter.
and he don't give a shit.
don't
He's ready
matter.
to go. He's
over.
answering questions. They're firing him off. Yeah, I saw some video earlier when he was like, they were like, I thought you said you were gonna make them, you were gonna force them to lower interest rates, and he was like, the rates will go down. Like, yeah, but you said you were gonna like make them like he could just. He's like, I'll have some hard conversations with him. I'll give him my thoughts. I'll be suggestive, whatever he said. And they're like, do you think they'll listen? He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the man.
Dude, he's the man.
JD Vance is the man. I mean, we barely touched on Hillbilly Elegy, but just real
Right.
quick, from Ohio, but spent his summers in Kentucky. You saw the movie. You read
The Appalachian
you read the
Mountains.
book,
Yeah.
Appalachia.
I have a hard time saying that word.
Do you?
Appalachian?
Appalachia. I think it's
Appalachian. Say
Well,
WORM.
worm.
Say WARM.
Worm. Is that right? Some of those are so weird listening to like the
Yeah.
English language, and it's ridiculous.
Warm. I can't do it.
You know what
Warm.
bothers me? And I respect old people, but warsh.
Yeah.
Why?
Mason says that. Our 15-year-old
Being those grandparents too.
hangs out
Right.
at like the Burger Nook with the old
Yeah.
people.
I went to the Burger Nook so long that I don't know if I was officially, but I was in my head eligible.
For on the wall. Where's my face on the wall? My uncle's on the fucking wall. As
Your
a mail
uncle?
carrier.
See, that's my thought. I was like, well, how many double cheeseburgers do I have to eat?
a lot.
Apparently, because they didn't even talk to me about it. But I thought, like, soon
CPS
enough.
should be up there. We need to go up there. I've
I was
got
younger.
pull. I've got pull.
Have you?
Ma-
I haven't been
what's
in
her
there
name?
so
Marilyn.
long.
Marilyn owns it. And
I've
my
lost
aunt,
touch.
who is like 9,000 years old,
Yeah.
hangs out at the Elks and Burger Nook every day. her and the owner of Burger Nook are best friends. So I'm gonna put in a request to get on the wall. CPS and May Excavating, our
I
big
love
smiling faces. I'll even
That
pay
would
for
be
the
great.
artwork.
Say no more. I mean,
Yep,
it's time to get immortalized.
it is.
You put us
'Cause
on
when
the
you get
wall
on
of
the
Burger
wall
Nook.
of Burger Nook,
You've made it.
you're there.
You
Are
know?
they still there?
I haven't been in there in so long. I hate to say that.
Painted over the face.
I think they painted
Have
over
they?
the
That's
face.
so stupid. That's
Hey, we'll
awesome.
just do me and your face. Two big
Right.
Mount Rushmore faces.
Dude,
They want
we're-
Ed Trump to Mount Rushmore.
They had a for all you motocrossers out there. They had a District 18 motocross reunion at Tres Hombres last Saturday. So District 18 was the local district that we all raced in. So I was told that it was on Facebook and it was a thing. So I went. I was the youngest
It's like
one
that
there.
time at your wedding whenever they had a motocross photo. And they were like, I'd never had a dirt bike in my life. They're like, Jesse, get in here. I'm like, I look like one of those cutouts. Like,
Yeah, you got in there, didn't you? You're like, yeah, it's a reunion pic.
like,
and you're
yeah,
like,
okay.
all right.
One
I
of your
show-
parents was like a side-eyeing him,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's like,
Jared,
Jared, yeah.
That's
I should have showed up at the
hilarious,
District
dude.
18 moto.
Should've.
Been like, hey,
Man.
boys.
Memories.
Yeah, man, them times.
Wow. Yeah. So that was, I don't know, man.
how'd it go?
It was interesting. So many dudes from the 70s and 80s were there. And they were way older than me. Just wild to think that they were like ripping dirt bikes like way before I was even alive. So that was cool. I don't know.
Those
where I
were
was-
like motorbikes, too.
dude, they're dual shock.
They
and-
weren't really dirt bikes. Those were like fucking old Harleys. that had, like
literally minimal suspension.
minimal suspension. They were
The
launching
jumps
them.
were different. They weren't even really jumps. I mean, there were some, but like it wasn't like it is today. Bikes
No,
today are
Not
insane.
even, yeah.
I don't even understand the bikes today. You know, they're all fuel injected, obviously. They're all electric start, obviously,
Or electric.
or they're electric, which
They're
is
getting
a whole
crazy.
other thing. That's
Right.
that. I'm not interested in that though. Electric bikes, nah, I'm good.
I want a
I
robot.
want to hear the motor. You want to what?
I want a robot.
No.
Tesla robot's gonna be like 30 grand.
Oh, like a human? Like, oh, I watched Subservience the other night.
We're both gonna get one.
Dude,
Huh? If
are
could
they
just-
for sale?
$30,000?
Stop, they're
Out.
not for
Tesla
sale.
robots. Yes, they are.
I'm a little bit scared of them. I won't lie. But even when I start talking to ChatGPT, I'm like, I need to watch how I respond because, like, are they judging me on some of this stuff? Like, because I'll be like, do you use ChatGPT?
No.
Lisa?
I downloaded the app because I heard it was great, but I have yet to use it.
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
What do you use it for? What do you
Dude,
want
The
it
most
for?
ridiculous stuff. I'll just ask him, like, I'm going to start farming alfalfa. Okay?
Listen.
Let Chad finish.
Let me talk for a second.
Go ahead. Remember the alfalfa thing.
Your alfalfa is good, but
Thank you.
ChatGPT is overrated. I stick with one man and one man
Who
only.
is it?
Ask Jeeves. He's the real fucking AI
Dude,
OG. You
Ask
know what I
Jeeves.
mean? Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, it's such a good.
The little butler
Yeah.
AI guy that's been around since the 80s. Fucking Jeeves is
Wow,
my
I
boy.
haven't even heard about Ask Jeeves
Yes.
in so long.
Okay. Back
Alfalfa.
to
Alfalfa.
chat G.
Case in point, I'm like, all right.
GLBT.
I
Q.
think you call it Chad GPT.
Chad
CHAD
Chad's
GPT.
LBTQ.
Jesus Christ. It's like,
Sponsored by Deep Eddy's vodka. Lemonade flavor. Okay, guys, listen, I only drink on the podcast, so if I feel a little buzzed up,
or
in an ice storm.
if a once in a generation
or an
ice storm,
or an island trip,
or if you're on another country,
boys trip.
boys trip.
So
If it's Monday through Friday and you're not podcasting, Jesse, please, or if you're home on the weekends hanging out with the family, you don't drink.
Right.
Point is, it's what it is. It's like, okay, if you Google something like, I want to farm alfalfa, how much money can I make doing this?
Okay.
You're gonna get a ton of articles.
Right.
Some are terrible. This is just like an AI. They gather information from all different sources immediately, and then they spit it out to you. It's like, how much money can I make farming alfalfa on 35 acres if I do square bales? And if I cut it 5 times a year, 4 times a year, it'll be like, immediately. And you're just like, whoa.
we definitely grew up on two other sides of the track because I downloaded the AI thing.
Yeah.
And like 2 days later, Lisa's like looking at my phone. She's like, "You can't have AI." I was like, "Take off your shirt." I was like, "Show me your titties."
Yeah. I mean,
Ugh.
it's It's not for It's not for everyone. I believe you.
My ChatGPT was too much. I had to delete it. I was definitely asking it inappropriate questions.
But that's what I'm saying. But that goes back to like you're asking a computer, right, which doesn't have a soul, which isn't a human. If you get I watched Subservience the other day with Megan Fox.
Hold that.
Oh, I saw clips of that on TikTok.
And I was like, well, that's what we're all scared of. We're all scared of robots formulating their own thoughts and feelings and then doing shit that is harmful to humans.
Yeah.
They think that they're better, subservience. They think they're better and smarter. They're definitely smarter than humans. So
I saw the
Will
Megan
they-
Fox one on the plane. I wanted to watch it.
I saw clips on TikTok and on my feed. It was
We
crazy.
should watch it sometime.
that's
We
my
have to show
fear.
it.
So you get Tesla, iRobot. Look at iRobot with Will Smith.
We didn't watch it either.
Buddy, you guys have got work to
I
do.
never watched movies.
We're getting Tesla battery powered fucking robot. Fun fact that I learned from Joe Rogan, I think.
I've learned so much from him. Jesus Christ.
Did you know the Great Wall of China would go from the West Coast to the East Coast,
It's so long.
back to the West Coast, and back to the East Coast?
3, 6, 9, 12. You check my math. I'm still embarrassed about that.
13,000.
Jesus Christ.
13,600 miles.
Is that how long it is?
Yes.
So it's a little more than that. It's almost
What
like
the hell were they keeping out?
Like, yeah.
You're a little Chinaman. And all of a sudden you say, I want you to build a wall.
you're
from here to
5'3"
fucking-
inches.
Yes, 5'3" and a 3-inch dick. And you want to build a fucking wall from here to fucking back and forth. And it's in the mountains. Like if you look at it, and it's still standing in like good stance. Like
Lisa, do you have access to Google? It's interesting. I love Jamie because
we can put it on the TV.
because Jamie will start pulling that shit up. I don't know how much Jamie makes, but like I've seen some clips where it's
He's
like
got
how
a
much money
Plaid.
he's making a lot.
He's
of
got a
money.
Tesla Plaid.
I think he's making a million, at least $1 million.
The
A
other day-
million's no big deal. He's
Easy.
making a couple million
Easy.
probably.
The
a
other
year.
day, somebody's in the office. Like,
Point is, if we're talking about the China, because it's like, what year was that built? Like, what year do you think? I'm going to say the 1400s.
before Christ.
Stop.
1400.
Stop.
BC.
BC?
1400. Check my math.
1878. But wait.
What year was the Great
The
Wall
first
built?
section of the wall.
I say
would have been
1400.
built during the spring and autumn of 770 through 476 BCE.
That's off a little bit.
What?
Before Christ, they built that.
It was
It's still
listen,
standing.
It was rebuilt as a defense in the Ming Dynasty, 1368 through 1644.
See,
It's a long
1400 was
time.
right. They
long
fucking
time.
made that thing stronger.
Right.
But
For what?
BC, dude,
BC.
I don't know if we talked about this the last one. Not that people are cross-referencing our episodes, but like that. Well, Chad talked about that the first.
Right.
The fucking Coliseum. The Coliseum. I
Right.
feel like Donald Trump right now. The
Yeah, Kind
Coliseum.
of look like Donald.
Do I?
In a way, like Barron.
Presidential?
Or not Barron.
Dude.
What's Barron's dad's name?
Donald.
Donald.
Hold on. What's Barron's uncle's name?
John?
What's Donald's son name?
John.
No.
John Trump? Who the fuck's, what's his
Oh,
name?
Eric?
Eric Trump?
No.
Little Don. It's
The
Trump
oldest.
Jr.
It's Trump Jr.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Donald Trump
Yeah, you kind of
Jr.
looks like that guy. The Junior Donald.
Damn. See, I don't think he's that good looking. That hurts my feelings a little bit.
But Barron is?
Barron's a stud, dude. He's fucking 6'9".
About his suitcase?
6'9" tall. He's 20 years old. He will be a problem.
He will be a problem with his suitcase.
I don't know what.
You know that? He tries that on social media.
I don't know what that
Oh
means.
man, you're
What's
missing
the
out.
one?
Check out our TikTok of Lisa's suitcase. It's the best. Lisa made a whole TikTok
I don't want to forget this though.
of Barron Trump. Because Barron, there hasn't been a video of Barron since he was like 4.
Yeah, that's true.
How-
That's not true.
Yes, it is. There's one video of him at like 4 talking about his suitcase. There's no other videos of Barron until recently. Like,
So what do
this-
you, what's the conspiracy
hold on,
theory?
of Barron talking. I'm sorry.
He
there's-
dude, he had like
there's
he
videos.
had an accent like his mom.
Yeah, there's videos of Barron,
Slovenian.
but not of him talking. So since his suitcase, then recently he's talked again, so people have heard his voice. But on TikTok, there's all this stuff because he's like, I want my suitcase. or
yeah,
something, his
yeah.
little
I
kid.
saw that. Yeah, he was a cute kid. But honestly, you know what that told me? And I told my wife this. it shows that Melania was a good mom that spent a lot of time with him because he had the same accent she did.
Right. Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Right.
so props to her.
And she's smoking
She's
hot.
a fucking supermodel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Still.
She's fucking 6 feet tall.
Like 60, but or
Ain't nothing
whatever,
wrong with that.
but still supermodel.
You're right. Yeah, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Is that a roller you got on your wrist right
Yes,
there?
it is.
No big deal. Dirt business is good. I've got this. Oh Jesus Christ! I got a
54.
Apple Watch.
an Air
I
King.
feel like a loser. I bought one of these the other day.
Dude, listen.
I put one on. I told Tabby, I said, "God, I feel like such a douchebag wearing this."
It's the band.
It is. You got to get a different band, but I still
They're
feel
like
like a
$20.
loser.
I've got my Apple Watch has got the black metal band,
That helps.
titanium actually.
Still a little bit gay.
No, wait. I've got a Apple Watch.
Right.
What do I wear all the time?
That Apple Watch.
My Apple Watch.
Right.
When I put this on, you know what I think? Fuck. I ain't gonna be able to get my text.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be able to look
This
at
is
my heart
great,
rate. I
and
ain't
that-
gonna be able to look at
Right.
this.
It's great in that regard. And I've got like a bunch of Timex watches, you know what I'm saying? 60
I like-
bucks. And
I
it's
don't
not
have
about the
Timex.
Timex, it's about the guy that wears it. That's what I say. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a watch connoisseur, so Citizens is like the lower
time ain't nothing wrong with Timex. It keeps good time.
time. I mean, it's all the same, but it's kind of like a piece of jewelry. So if you
I
just,
get what you're saying.
it's just like carrots, tomatoes, or whatever.
Right. Carrots and tomatoes. Right.
So,
Oh, you know what I saw? Knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
okay. Here's mine: Mama tomato, Papa tomato, baby tomato, walking down the street.
Pulp Fiction.
Baby tomato keeps following behind. Papa tomato walks back and stomps on him and says, "Ketchup."
That was great, dude. Uma Thurman was hellacious in that.
I don't know
movie.
if you saw her Halloween episode.
She had
Uh-uh.
Halloween costumes. That's what we dressed up as.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, I
Dude,
saw that.
We
Yeah,
rocked it.
Yeah, that
I
was sick. You killed it as
I-
fucking Vincent. Vincent
Did
fucking
you see my
Vincent Vega. Yeah,
So good.
Yeah. Wait till
that was
next
cool.
year.
And you rocked Uma Thurman well too. That was
Yeah,
great.
I'm always the accessory to Jesse.
Well,
He
fuck.
really does a good Halloween costume.
What are you gonna
and
do?
I happily am like his accessory because he
Right.
pulls off all these different looks.
Yeah.
Next year's gonna be even better. Grandma's boy. No, I'm joking.
Is that with David Spade or Napoleon
No.
Dynamite?
Neither one?
Grandma's boy? What's
No.
Grandma's boy?
You haven't seen Grandma's Boy?
Well, fuck, I don't know. You tell me.
Very good movie. It's a dude that lives in his grandma's basement.
Yeah.
He's like a computer programmer. They got a monkey. They get all high, and the monkey's driving the Blazer. If you haven't seen it, the guy's like thinks
Maybe
he's
not.
a robot, and he's like, "Adios, turd nuggets."
Man,
you gotta
I feel
go
like,
watch that, dude.
I feel like
That's a
we referenced
classic.
that in high school.
Grandma's Boy's a classic. It's been out since
Yeah.
then.
Early 2000s, mid 2000s.
It's like Super Troopers, Austin Powers, all those funny ass movies came out
Yeah.
right then at the same time.
Super bad was great.
Superbad was good. We watched that. Mason's 15.
It's time.
It's time to watch something like that. So I know at every point in a young man's life, he's watching TV with his dad,
Yeah.
and a set of titties comes on the TV.
Sure.
Do you look away or do you watch? He's got a damn mustache at this point. This dude's got I'm 40 years old. I don't
That's
got a fucking
admirable.
mustache. You
Right.
know what I mean? This dude's got a mustache. So we're watching Superbad.
Yeah.
I know there's a picture coming up where they're in the store and they look at the magazine that shows the girl's titties, but I'm thinking to myself, he's 15. It'll be all right. Them titties flashing on the screen. Myself, he was like, it's just me and him. I was like, you're all right, bro. I'm sure
you
you.
can look.
He's like,
You know, that's just that's just a respect thing. You know what I want to say real quick? This podcast maybe doesn't even need to be based on what you do for a living or what others do for a living. Like I
Right.
know that's what started it,
right.
right? It's like reckless success. I was
No,
wild.
no,
we
it's
were,
about
you
my
know what I
wild.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like I became a professional and successful, and
Right.
like here's a pathway to it, and that's great. You know how much I know about Joe Rogan's childhood, everything,
Right.
everything.
Right.
You know, because
Which
he
is
talks
very
about it.
little. He talks about it all the
He
time,
does, but
it's
like he
just
keeps his shit consistent. Like I don't even
Right.
know if it's true. You know,
You
like
do
I lived
because
in
it's
Boston,
consistent.
and then I lived in, and it's like I was doing karate, and then I was coaching classes in Boston. Is it true? I don't know. I haven't heard anybody like disprove it, so I'm sure it is true.
Have you seen the videos of his dad?
dude.
He disproves it.
Well, fuck, dude. Don't
He's
be a
like,
hater.
Joe, we love you, son. Come
Right.
back home.
Right.
And
It's like,
Joe's
buddy,
like,
that ain't
"Fuck
his
you,
sister and
buddy."
shit's involved.
Yep.
Fuck out of here. Point is this, dude. This podcast will perplex. Perplex? What's perplex mean, Jamie?
That's more like a kind of
It's
confused.
confusing. You're perplexed. You're
You're
perplexed.
You're confused.
This will exceed, surpass, go beyond entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's not
Especially,
just, that's a small like pool of people relative to the entire population. You
Right.
know, there's not that many people that
but
are
there
willing to do.
is that many people that fantasize
That's
about
true.
being
Or
entrepreneurs.
that are strung out.
I
Also
have
true.
been on the other side at the
Right.
table as the non-entrepreneur. I had to clean those toilets and
Right.
do that shit because I'm like, fuck, I need to
Right.
have a job.
And that's
I
great
know
too.
Chad means
It's
it.
good to be motivating, but my
Right.
point is this: like, if you're like, I've never been the dude that's like, I am my business.
Right.
It's like that's just what I do for money.
Have you ever noticed that Lisa and I have got an excavating business that does phenomenal,
Yeah.
but we're always looking to do something different. We're
Right.
like, how much is your trash service each week? We will
Right.
start a fucking trash company. We don't
Right.
give a shit. We've
No, I
got-
get that completely, dude.
A guy asked us the other day, he was talking about businesses, and we were telling him like starting businesses, and we're like, yeah, it's not. He was like, well, I would never know how to, start a business, and we're like, dude, you get on this website, you pay
Right.
$135, and here you go. It's not that bad.
Well, you say it's not that hard, and it isn't that hard to start an LLC.
Right, but to
to-
do it,
But to do it, how much time has been spent thinking about your work? An unfathomable, immeasurable amount of time. Lisa,
Hours.
hours is nothing.
Right.
Fucking months
Years.
and months and months and years
Years.
of your life has been spent thinking about how to make money pushing dirt.
right,
You obsess over it. So like if you say like it's really not that hard. Well, it's not that hard to push the dirt, and that's the easy part.
right,
That's why there's so many people that can push the dirt. That's just the easiest part of it. Like it's all the other stuff that's so hard to do, and like that are so
I'm
few.
telling you, Chad,
so
I
few
got
are willing to
a
do.
real life Jamie
I know you
and
do.
Lisa.
I know.
Like
I know.
she ain't just with me on the podcast.
Right.
She's with me through it all.
100%, dude. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you might be fucked without her. You know,
Dude, I
like
say it all the time. I'd be living in a camper under the bridge.
it's just, but it isn't for everyone. Most people are employees,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong.
You
with
got to have
that.
employees.
You have to.
But I also think, and I'm gonna bring out one of our employees. So one of our employees, a hell of a hand.
Yeah.
Didn't know if he would be at first.
Right.
Really, I wasn't gonna hire him. I wasn't hiring.
Yeah.
This guy calls me. He's like in Colorado. I'm looking for a job. I'm 20. Like, what the fuck? You're in Colorado, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Call me in the spring when work picks up. Calls me like 2 weeks later. I'm looking for a job. Anything come up? No, motherfucker. You done called me 2 weeks ago. I said I'd call you, so I'm a little pissed off.
Right.
A week later, look at my phone. Some bitch is calling again.
Persistence.
That's what got me. I
Yeah.
wasn't hiring, but I thought, if you're that fucking eager, come over here and let me meet you. So he come
Right.
over. He's turned out to be an excellent hand.
Yeah.
Good hand. For example, the other day, I've got a Ford F-150.
Yeah.
It's got the 5.0 in it.
Mm-hmm.
I go put new tires on it. It's
Yeah.
like 800 something bucks up at T's, right?
1,506 I spent yesterday at T's.
Yeah.
No big deal. I got a dually.
Got to go to T's Tires, Hurst, Illinois. It's where you get the
Yes.
best deal on tires
Yep.
in all Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri. Come
Yep.
over to T's Tires.
Yep.
So I leave T's Tires, driving the truck home. The truck's like a $12,000 truck.
Right.
It's driving it home.
Yep.
Fucking motor starts knocking.
You need that premium.
Oil pump went out.
Oh no.
By the time I get to the roundabout, it's knocking crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get it back. I got this 20-year-old kid. I don't know if he's Amish kid that's escaped a settlement somewhere or
Right.
what, but he's got like skills, and he'll be like, oh yeah, I done this for 2 years, or I done that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Environmental work, all this shit, almost too much to believe.
Yeah.
But then I set him on a task and he can do it. And I'm like,
Right.
this little Amish boy has got something figured out.
Yeah.
So he's rather escape from a polygamous community or an Amish community where he's been working since 12 or something.
Right. He's had a hard life.
But he's got some issues going on where he might have to move back to Colorado. And he was telling me, he's like, I mean, I was telling my dad, like, yeah, I might have to go back to Colorado, but I really like my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, we try to keep it, not casual, but I'm the boss and I'm out there with the guys all the time. We're like in the mix. So, and he just kept going on and on. And he's like, well, it's just real hard to find a boss that's, cool.
You
And
lead
like,
by example.
that also wants to make sure the guys are making money and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Well, dude, like, yeah, I think that's, I mean, finish your story, but
So as a boss, I try to make sure everybody's eating good too.
yeah.
So I try not to get greedy.
Right.
Or I'm not greedy.
Right.
And I make sure that, like, I feel bad when I go on vacation.
Right.
And the guys are working.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like that humble, like, do I want to
Right.
go on vacation? But I'm writing the motherfucking check, so I know y'all can come with me if you wanted
Right.
to. So
If you want to spend your money on
yeah,
it.
if you want
Right.
to spend your money there, I'm going to the fucking St. Martin or
Right,
wherever the hell
I'm going
it
to St.
is.
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
So, but I make sure that all the guys, and he knows that, like, there's jobs we've got that we've had them do out of town, and there's a certain wage that we could have paid them, but we're like, fuck that, we'll double it or whatever
Right.
if you go out of town and do this. So,
you got to make, you have to make the juice worth the squeeze.
right. So you got to have employees, but I feel like you got to treat the employees like, family.
Dude, you have 100%. You cannot succeed in business without employees
Right.
because you can only do so much. You personally take Lisa out. Lisa's not involved.
Right.
How much can you get done?
We get into
gotta-
this point where we get 4 commercial jobs. They got a start date of 10 days after they say you
Go.
got the job.
Right.
You got 10 days to get there and start. So,
Right,
yeah,
without
If I lose-
without a good crew, you're fucked.
if I lose 3 employees, I'm back down to me, and I'm like, shit.
Well, you're only as good as your help,
Right.
know. So that's wild. You don't really think about that because when you first start out, you're like, man, I just hope I can make enough money to like support my life.
Right. Can
And
I
then-
just match what I'm making right now?
Right. And then you realize, oh, that's doable easily.
Right.
If you're the right person. But then it's
Not
like,
easily.
Not
it's doable. Sometimes it's like a roller coaster, man.
right.
There's
Right.
a lot of highs and lows. Even
Right.
at the stage we're at now, there was a point earlier, a few months ago, where we could have stopped doing anything and just lived comfortable for 4 years probably. Just
Right.
keep spending money like we are, maybe 5 years, maybe 6, we stretched it out.
Right.
2 months later, 3 months after we've had 14 union guys on our payroll and bought all this material for all these jobs we had going on, there was a point where I'm like, damn,
Right.
I'm about to have to call somebody for some help here.
Easy come, easy go.
And then a few months later,
Right.
there you are with your fucking ass on the beach and
You're
toes in
in
the
St.
sand in
Martin.
St. Martin.
Right.
Fucking- so it's like a roller coaster. You're just up and down.
That's like, and I know you don't, but like you just can't ever take it for granted because it is easy come, easy go. You got to take it and appreciate it when you have it.
Right.
And when you don't have it, you got to think, all
Work
right, how do
hard
I
for
get
it.
back there?
You
Yeah.
gotta work hard for it.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's true. What a life. That's pretty cool.
it's cool. I've been in the office.
Dude, I've driven by your shop like multiple times in the last 3 weeks and your truck's always there. I'm
I
like,
know-
damn, Jesse.
I know it. This dude's
All right.
in there doing this little.
And I don't even
computer
call or text you because I'm like, he's probably
thing.
working.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've been in there. Our office is nice with the storage units that we bought, but you know us, we're always looking for the next best thing.
Right.
So I've already got my eyes on and hooks in the next deal.
You keeping it a secret?
It's a secret.
Okay.
All deals are secret.
I
until
got-
further notice.
I have a.
But it's gonna be beautiful, like Trump would say. It's gonna be brilliant.
It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Wow.
People are gonna love our office. They're gonna come to our office and say, "This is grand. Look at this office. I wish I
Wow.
had an office like this."
I don't have an office like this, but if I did,
If I had an office, this would be the office I would want.
right.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
I was
because we plan to grow and have more people.
right.
Our office, we're in there. It's like herding
Yeah.
cattle to get through there
Right.
because it's kind of like long and narrow.
Yeah, it is.
Lisa and I share an office,
Yeah. It's labeled and stuff. You have,
so like I ain't slacking at all. I might be like, I want to look at my Facebook, so I pop it,
you can't.
and then she looks over at me, and I'm like, Like, wipe it off.
Dude,
Wipe
imagine
over.
it, dude. But imagine that there's people, like most people, and I don't want to seem insensitive to that. Like most people have jobs that they can't fuck around at ever.
Right.
Like they can't like look on Facebook, and if they do, they probably do. But they're like,
Dude, it's
oh,
getting so bad. Like
I
the
need
gas
to
station
turn my
lady.
computer, to where I can have some privacy,
Right.
and that's crazy to think about.
We've
but-
got cameras now
Yeah.
all over everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to tell the guys, like, hey guys, try not to piss out back of the shop anymore.
Right.
Because Melissa said that y'all been pissing.
Right. Right.
Oh, dude, he feels embarrassed for you. And I told
Right.
Corbin that the other day. I said, hey, it's not true at all. But like, I told him that our office assistant, I'm like, hey, do you know we got cameras out there? He's like, no. I'm like, you've been pissing out
Everywhere.
back? He's like, yeah, I piss out back all the time. I'm like, Melissa
Yeah.
told me,
He's like, oh, no.
probably, I should say that on there. But yeah,
At least we'll cut that in post.
but she really doesn't have access. But I told the guys that just to fuck with them,
Right.
And it worried them. They were like, oh shit, because nobody wants to see somebody pissing. Like when I'm pissing out behind the shop, I'm just full flaccid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
If I think that the girl that's at the office has now seen that, I'm
Right.
like, oh fuck! Like
Right.
at least let me do the helicopter. Give me a minute. Let me chub her up. Get some
Sure.
blood flow.
Yeah.
But
We don't promote that kind of environment, so that's not the case.
we don't promote that. So that's just my thoughts.
Just
No, I
so
get what
you
you're
know.
saying. Right.
Yeah.
Just full disclaimer.
So like this is what they've got to deal with.
There are worse things. I've been watching this dude online, Northern Snow. He's in Canada.
Oh, I know. He's got a lot of snow pushing. He's like 24 with all them snow plows,
Fucking-
blowers.
You watch him and I watch him. He's got all those tractors with the snow blowers, and
He's got
he's
it
got
going
so
on.
much snow. He's going to see that Alex Hermosi, which like I started like following a little bit, like on YouTube, and I'm like, damn, this fucking guy is inspiring me, and he's 24,
Dude,
and
he's
I'm
got
like
40 fucking tractors and guys going.
75 employees, he said. But I'm like, all right, well, that's because he can have
So they've got that much snow.
that much snow, and he's doing the snowblower thing. And I
But-
started looking at skid steers with snowblowers.
Skid steers.
Because they make a snowblower attachment. But the
Right.
thing is, they're not as efficient. But what they are good for is utilizing the entire space, because as you push snow, it blocks a couple spots. No big deal, right? It's like 4 spots. We got a crisis here. But it just maximizes. But he has 4,100 driveways.
Golly.
And he's talking about centimeters and shit. He's like, we got 35 centimeters of snow. I'm like,
Right.
buddy,
He's like, I'm on day 22. Like, this
Right.
guy's going on.
we don't know how many, you're about 2.54 centimeters
going
an inch. I
5
get that, but I'm
kilometers
doing the
over.
math, and I'm like, wait, 15 inches of snow? Like, a lot of snow, or 7 inches of snow?
What gets me, though, is when they make a pass with that snowblower, there's still snow on the ground. Like, are
but
you
it's better
It's drivable.
because what it has is the snowblower, and then that cutting edge is getting it down, but there's minimal down.
It's not hitting the
pressure.
ground, which you wouldn't want it to hit the ground.
You wouldn't.
Because then it's going to tear
I'm
up
sure
your
that
teeth.
that cutting edge is a little bit lower than the auger, but like still, it's not like super perfect.
Right.
But if you got this much snow and it cleans
Right.
it off, then you're in good
You're in a
shape. But then
fucking
you got to blow the snow somewhere,
Dude.
and they're shooting it far. But that he's a stud, man.
He's a stud.
He's a kid
24
too,
years old.
and like he's always bringing them donuts and shit. And
Yeah.
honestly, I was watching like,
He's pumping the fuel.
yeah, and it's like
It's cold
you're
as
gonna
shit.
struggle with labor or leadership
Right.
as a business owner if you want to grow. And it's like, well, which one are you struggling with? It's so easy to be like, well, there's no good help out there. And it's like, well, is there? Or are you not paying them enough? Or are you not training them well enough
Right.
to be successful? And it's like, I don't know.
Or you don't have enough leaders.
Right. Are you a good
You
enough
can't just have a
leader?
bunch of guys that don't know what's going on.
Right.
Everybody's got to have somebody that's done this,
Right.
or it's going to be their first
Because I'll be
time.
watching those dudes clock in with that. He's got like a face fucking facial recognition clock in scan. So you can stand
Really?
there and be like, John Smith, shoop, and it'd be like fucking 8:37 p.m. He'll
Yeah.
clock in, but some dude was explaining it. So the Stefano guy's over here, and this other dude's explaining it to the worker, right? He's like, all right, man, turn. It's like, okay, that's going to be, you're good. So when you come back, he's explaining it to him
Right.
after you're done with your route. And I'm like, well,
They all had
dude's
some tablets.
probably making 80 grand,
Right.
right? to be like the dude that's explaining this shit.
Right.
And then like I'm also thinking during the snow event, there's 75 guys dispatched to push snow. There's 40 tractors. I don't know how the fuck they do it, but there's 40 tractors. There's 75 employees, but
they're all little Kubota tractors too.
60
but they work.
horsepower. Yeah.
That's perfect.
And he finances all of them. He said, he's probably just got fucking outrageous payments, but he's just making them, Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got like these 4 dudes that are cruising around filling up diesel tanks and giving them
Little
donuts and shit.
5-gallon cans.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, none of those dudes are producing money. They're just costing him money, but they're adding some level of value
for sure. Because if it wasn't for them, the crew wouldn't be moving.
Right. So it's interesting.
We're almost at the point. There's so much paperwork that goes into these federal and state jobs.
Right.
That I'd say for every 2 guys in the field, we need a guy in the office or a girl in the office, because there's like payroll, certified payroll, meetings, keeping up with this, finding more jobs. There's like so much going on. And I've got Lisa tuned in. She's tuned up just like a damn sewing machine. I can't keep up with her anymore.
Yeah.
So here I am trying to work, and she's spitting off a million questions.
Right.
I'm still
right.
What?
That's critical though. That's part of it.
Yeah. So you gotta have a pusher, and you gotta have a digger. So you got somebody pushing, you got somebody digging. Somebody's gotta be pushing. Make sure things are getting done. We've let's see, this week we're completing Cedar Lake, which is that 6.2 miles of trail that we built around it.
Yeah.
That was a good job. That was Brooks's.
How'd you do that? What'd you use?
We bought for the Yanmar 50 that we have. We bought one of those badass tilt buckets.
The one you got done black?
Yeah.
How's that hold up?
It's held up good.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks good still?
Yeah. There's one lightning strike down the side where a vine had rubbed it, but it looks, since it's red, it looks like lightning.
Intentional,
It's kind of
that's
cool.
sick, yeah.
So I left it I left it all summer, and I said this winter when we got the tractors back in the shop, we'll touch it up. Luckily, we're at February.
Yeah.
And the tractors ain't been back to the shop, so that's good. That's a good sign.
That's great. Wes tinted or not only tinted, but he fucking, what did he put up? What did he make all black? Like, what did he use?
Well, it was going to be a wrap.
Right.
I wanted it wrapped, but the wrap wasn't sticking good because of the welds.
Yeah.
So he painted it with a rattle can.
Oh, did he?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this, dude. Wes Lawrence is one of the smartest dudes intellectually that I know.
Yeah.
And he's got big plans for his tinting business.
Right.
You know Wes well.
Oh, yeah.
He's wanting to take over Lawrence Auto Clinic, the whole fucking thing.
Right.
And he's wanting to create next level window tinting and paint protection film and wrapping and do the whole thing, multiple bays. And I'm like, buddy, you can do it. You know, he's got what it takes. He's a perfectionist. The fact that he did your Traco like that and it's still holding up, that's sick. Rattle can or not, like, that's badass.
Right.
It looked sick. However he got there, it doesn't matter. The product remains. So I want to talk about, they used that mini. Did he just pop out trees to make the trail?
So on the trail, we've got the blacked out mini that we love that Wes Lawrence painted. Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
We'll post up a picture.
Yeah, post those.
I mean, I bought this thing from the dealer and didn't even unload it on the off the trailer. I took it straight to Wes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck is this?
All right.
Can you wrap it?" And he tried the wrap, but the welds on the boom, it's too much. And he only wrapped 2 panels right by the door, which are like a foot. But then he was saying that it wasn't gonna stick good. And so we talked about it. And I'm like, paint it.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to paint it? I'm like, paint it. So he paints it. So then I bought a bucket from Mongo Attachments.
Mm-hmm.
From Mongo Attachments that tilts all the way up, like more than a 45, especially when you curl it. It makes it go up like that.
Bucket on for the boom?
Yeah. So the bucket now
Hydraulics?
has got hydraulic cylinders on both sides where it can cock up like this
that's cool.
or like that. So as they're going up the side of these big hills, they can cut into it. And then for the high wall, because they wouldn't let us leave it a straight wall, They
He
wanted
wants
to
to
cut
be-
back.
Yeah.
So that bucket just cocks up like that and shaves it off. It can be steeper.
Why
than
do
a
they want it
1-to-1,
for fallout purposes?
just so it wouldn't fall down on the
Yeah,
trail.
yeah.
So we can cut it back. And they've done 6.2 miles of trail. As far as clearing, we had 2 buckets. We had the regular 2-foot bucket, or we had the tilt bucket, which was quick connect. So they would clear. At first, they would clear, come back, get the grading bucket, and grade that part of the trail. But then we finished up another project, freed up my brother.
Yeah.
So I sent another mini over there with just a regular digging bucket. He went through, cleared, and then Ernesto was the operator, came behind him and graded.
Ernesto
and,
work for you?
yeah.
Okay.
Through the hall.
through the
Through the hall.
union hall.
It's great.
Yep.
That's cool. So is that a I don't truly understand any of the union at all. I know nothing
Ernesto
about unions.
was our minority. So on that project, we had to have a minority participation.
Okay.
So we called the hall. We requested a minority.
That's cool. Does he work for you regularly?
No, we hired him on this job, but then
We called the hall.
yeah, we called the hall. We got
Yes,
Ernesto. He done great, and then from there, because it's weird. I don't think it's like this anymore, but up until Trump got in, there was all this diversity. You know, you'd have to have 2%, 25% of minority workforce or
Mhm.
participation in this project. So we had Ernesto out there doing the trail. Then we ended up getting another job in the city of Carbondale that was a demo. So we moved Ernesto over to the demo. So
Yeah.
yeah, for a few days.
So you just say, "Hey, Ernesto, you're going here," and he goes. He doesn't have to like touch base with the hall.
no.
Oh, okay.
Once
that's
I got
nice.
him on my list, and then I've got a callback right on Ernesto or anybody that I get out of the hall for at least a year. I
You
think
call him directly.
I can call him directly, yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
or I call the hall.
I got these are. I got these vans in 2019. 2019.
Damn.
When I bought my dog Bell, my red healer, I had these vans on. And they're like
You had those fucking
$55.
what were those other boots? Like Union Thurs,
I
Thorough
I
Girls.
used to rock LL Beans and
No, these were
Red
like
Wings.
those, ones that everybody wants, the work boots.
Red Wings, gotta be 411s.
No, they got the white
Insulated.
bottom on the bottom.
Red Wing, buddy, 411 insulated 8-inch.
I love Red Wing.
I've fucking bought probably like 8 pairs.
Oh, I've got 8 pairs sitting out in the barn just from.
I love red. They're so soft. They're like a damn tennis shoe.
Here's my problem. I love Red Wing Irish setters.
Yeah,
They're
I've never
slip-ons.
worn them. Are they nice?
They're the boot. I like
Yeah.
Doc Martens. I like slip-ons for
Yeah.
tractor, but if I'm out in the mud and shit,
You want
they
tight.
stuck. My
Yeah.
sock slides down.
Yeah.
I have issues. But my 2 boots are Doc Martens slip-ons.
Yep.
They're like $119 if you can find them.
Yeah.
They last me 6 months, but
That's
after
all you
6
get out of
months-
it. 6 months. That's a long
After
time.
6 months, so my feet in those heavy ass boots, I work so hard, I'll be sweating.
I thrashed 411 Red Wings.
Oh, 411.
Red Wing 411 insulated
Oh.
8-inch boot, mock toe, not steel toe. 6 months. That's all I get. They're completely bald and they're just thrashed.
What's that brand we go to in St.
$180,
Louis?
$190.
Isn't it 411?
No.
You know that store? It's like a.
Have you ever heard that store? It's like military stuff, Army and Cop. It's like 411 or 711 or
Route
That's a
20
gas station.
Route
that's
21.
no.
First time I ever saw a transgender was Route 21. It was like 2001 or 2. It was fucking
I had a
wild.
recent transgender experience.
Did you?
I was getting my hair cut by a girl, and it was a woman. She's like 40, and she's cutting my hair, and she's talking about these shows that they do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what shows do you do? And she's like, drag shows. Thinking it, her daughter even came in and was talking to her. So I'm like, drag shows? She's a woman. I was like, how do you do a drag show? And she was like, well, I was born a man. And I looked, and she had no Adam's apple. She had tits and a nice ass. So she's cutting my hair, and then I think about it some more, and I say, wait a minute. You said you and your husband, and now you're the woman, and you're doing trans shows. I said, how's your husband do the trans show? Does he dress up like a girl, and you dress up like a girl, but you were a guy? And she said, I was born a man, and he was born a woman. I was like mind blown. And I'm like, hold on. But neither of them had surgery. So like
They weren't fully committed.
in daytime when they're out and about,
Hey,
she's
listen.
the woman and he's the man. But when they get home and they're fucking, the woman is fucking the man in the pussy. Like I was so confused. I was like, what?
I mean, look.
With her dick.
Here's the reality of the situation.
Oh.
This is, God, it sucks. We need to talk about this before the shit airs.
Before the shit airs, he said.
Literally, because I just don't understand it at all.
I don't understand it at all either. The way I've always thought about it is I kind of got sympathy for lesbians.
Why?
Because you look at a woman, she's beautiful, she's clean, smells good,
Smells better than we do.
tastes good. You look at a guy, we're hairy,
We're
we
nasty.
fart, we scratch our balls, we ain't showered since yesterday. You know
No.
what I mean? So like, obviously I could see where a girl might think a girl's hot, but I could never see where a guy would look at a guy and be like, hey, Jack, let me see that old hairy asshole. Looks like Peter Cottontail. Fucking nothing about that sounds exciting to me. But if you do and you listen to the podcast, more power to you. We don't judge or discriminate. I just can't wrap my fucking head around it.
Yeah, right. So, Lisa, I'm curious. What's on that screen is what's televised.
No, I have to go in and cut it all up.
So even though you're on me,
Yeah, you're
that's
on.
not
I
real.
mean,
That's
it.
that's
this is what's recording.
yeah.
At this
So that's
moment.
better. But are they both always recording?
Yeah.
Your voices, but
Right.
the screen's only what's here.
Right. So it's never gonna be more than that. So
I can tell if Jesse's about to vape and he's like looking all weird at the camera, so I'll flip back to you.
it's funny that you guys like how we all just know our
Partners.
spouses. Yeah.
We know well.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? It's so comforting.
It's great. Yeah.
We love being married.
Yeah. Me too.
It's fucking great. Like I love having this.
It is really great.
We-
It's like I thought we love each other. If we get married, what difference does it really make?
You're
It makes
right.
a fucking
right.
difference. The
The dynamic does change.
1,000%.
It's a wild ride.
It's wild that like we all like
Everybody's got
would
their
you-
own path. Everybody's going through the same shit. Everybody you pass in their cars, they got to pay bills, figure out how to get through this life without dying, being homeless, living on the streets. So where we stopped off before the break was talking about how crazy life is.
Where
Chad
did
and
we
I-
stop off? We don't know.
We don't know because we forgot to take
That's-
notes before.
Do you watch Barn Talk?
No.
Yeah, you do.
Is it the three dudes in Canada that's like,
No, it's the fucking three dudes that talk about farming and shit. And they're like, you can't make money farming beans anymore. I'm telling you right now, the fucking yields aren't fucking high enough. And our dad bought a fucking John Deere 722 back in the day. And I'm like, I'm watching it. And I'm like, fuck.
I don't watch that, but I do play a lot of Farming Simulator.
Barn Talk is cool.
Oh.
But also, shout out to Barn Talk. But Farm Simulation's cool. What I would like to do is take my 40-acre plot of pasture. I'm going to farm it for alfalfa. I already told my farmer guy.
No more corn
I
beans.
said, no more corn after 2025. You can farm corn this year, which I love when they farm corn because it's fucking
grows
private.
up
Yeah,
private.
it's great. Yeah, it's beautiful and it's cool. But it's a bitch when they combine it because it's not that
dusty.
It's just nasty, and then you gotta really disc it in.
Beans too, dusty.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
So, and that's a rough time of year, anyways, to get.
You have to
through.
hire a pressure washing company to come wash your house.
Right. You'd have to find somebody. It's impossible.
It'd be
almost.
tough.
But especially if a black house. Could you imagine? Jesus
I do have a
Christ.
black truck. So
You
I
guys
can
haven't
imagine.
even come over. Fuck, that's probably on us. We need to invite you.
We've been
formally.
waiting.
That's bad. We're all fucking busy. We have to have a deliberate. Please, I would love for you guys to come over, but we just have to get our house clean so it looks like we give a shit.
We saw the house as it was being built, so now we need to see it after it's
It's
been
pretty
built.
sick.
I can
I
imagine.
love it. Yeah. It's great that I love it. Like, I wonder how long this is gonna last. I don't know. Probably, I hope.
Could not be though.
Who knows? You know, like
5 years down the road, you might be
right.
like, fucking.
There's
black.
already things I'm like, damn, I
I've
should've
watched
put
this
that
dumb
basement
bitch
in.
50 times.
Right.
That's
Right.
how I feel about my truck.
I got to get landscaping done. Like, that's my biggest thing. But when spring comes, I got a crew that they're gonna
That can
set
do
me
that.
up. Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna get that motherfucker looking
Flowers.
mint, plants and flowers
We
and
need some of that.
bushes and
We got flowers off Amazon, like the dead ones,
You know.
and put them at the building in here.
Oh,
Looks
yeah?
good. Looks like flowers in the wintertime.
oh, the
Like
fake
we have,
ones.
we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
pots
yeah.
out front,
Dude,
3
I
pots,
love that.
and
You
they're
guys
full
have
of
done
fake.
great with that building, dude.
Yeah.
I'll go by and I'll see those little potted flowers shit. I'm like, Lisa's been out there because I know Jesse ain't.
And you know, everybody told me somebody's gonna walk by and bust those plants,
Well,
those
fuck
pots, and I thought, ain't nobody fucking with my shit.
Right.
They know what time
No,
it is.
that's
They
great.
see whose shit that is. People be like, I lock my doors now.
Did I tell
But
you?
I used to not lock
Did you
my
know my
doors.
truck got stolen?
I saw it on fucking Facebook. Yes, I
Holy
saw the
crap.
CPS truck on the damn Williamson County Crime Watch.
Dude, I get to my shop this morning. I take my truck to get detailed, or another
right
car.
after a detail. and them
No,
motherfuckers-
a different vehicle.
Oh,
And like the dude drives me to my office, and I'm like, man, like no one ever messes with my stuff here. That's great. I'm tucked back here, and I get inside. I'm hanging out. I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, all right, let's get in the flatbed and let's go do whatever we're doing. And I walk outside. And I'm like, where is the flatbed? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, maybe somebody took it. And I call a couple of my guys, and I'm like, you got the flatbed? No. You got the flatbed? No. And I start digging deep. I'm like, bro, my brother, you got the flatbed? I call my brother bro. I never called him Philip in my life. No. My dad, you got the flatbed? No. I'm like, what the fuck?
Big Daddy answers the phone.
All right.
Yeah.
He pulled up here for something one day in the CVS wash truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I said, give me a spray. Stevie's like, I mean, I will.
He would. He would. He'd love to.
Look at this house.
But
He's like,
no-
hey, little Missy, I'll give you a spray.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you want it.
Yeah.
So
You want
I'm
it up
like,
high or down low?
Right. you tell me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for like 2.5 hours, I'm like, I gotta call people. Surely someone's got my truck. You know, I'm like,
Where do
it
you
didn't
keep
get
the keys?
Stolen in the
In
motherfucker.
the truck. Damn.
And I'm like, I guess I gotta call the cops. I'm like, I guess
You
my
guys got my
got
truck?
stolen. I'm like, you guys have it? Like, I don't know how this worked. Did you need it for something? And they're like, okay. And they come to my shop, they file a police report, and I'm like, just let me know, you know. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, they call me like, we found your truck. I'm like, really? It was in Circle Drive in Heron, dude. Perfect.
Right down the road?
No key. They have the key still, but like, dude, I had $1,000 worth of jackets in the back seat.
Didn't take nothing?
Nothing, dude.
Just took the
Took
truck
nothing.
for a quick ride.
Took nothing. Yeah.
Kids need to get across town.
That's
real
what.
quick.
And what's interesting is the cops are like, they probably just needed a ride. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're gonna chalk it up to. Like,
Right.
I didn't give a shit. They're like, do you want us to dust for fingerprints? I'm like, no.
I'm
I got my
surprised they
truck
even
back.
said that. We had them come to our shop. Somebody broke in. They took at our old shop. I just got an alarm system and everything. I didn't have the sumbitch activated.
The red one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the alarm activated. They break in, steal. Mason's for his Christmas was getting a 250 EX.
I stole it.
It was inside a box trailer in the barn.
Yeah.
They got in there and took the exhaust off in the CDI box. Then they took all my tools and loaded them in my dad's buggy and took his buggy. And the cops came and they left. Well, when they left, I was looking under his four-wheeler and there's a brand new pack of wrenches that weren't mine
Yeah.
that I could see greasy fingerprints on. Like, perfect. So I called the cops back. I'm like, bam, got their ass.
Right.
There's fingerprints on these greasy fingerprints. They gave me some runaround. They're like, oh, it'd take 6 months and it probably wouldn't work anyways. And
You
It
watch
costs a lot of
CSI
money.
Miami and Horatio Alger. We love him. He puts the fucking shades on after he makes some cheesy comment. And we think that's reality. And then you
Right.
realize they don't want to fuck with any of
they
that.
don't want to fuck.
You know, even they were kind of discouraging me. Not that I gave a shit, and I didn't. But they're like, "Do you want us to dust for fingerprints?" Like, you've already got, like, kind of touched everything in the vehicle. I'm like, "No, I got the truck. I don't give a shit." you know.
So then Lisa and I leave town. We get robbed. They break into our shop. I'm like, Lisa's like, you got this security system.
Right.
Now at this point, I've got cameras and an alarm.
Uh-huh.
And inside the shop, I've got a TV that's showing the cameras on the outside and inside. And we go to Mexico. I think it was Mexico. And while we're there, I get a call from the Carterville PD. It's like 2 weeks after we get robbed.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, the Carterville cop's calling. I answer, and he's like, hey, just letting you know, we were chasing somebody, and they ran by your shop here, and we thought maybe they ran in. So if you see us on your cameras, like, walking around in your shop, we're just looking for that guy. And I'm like, you're in my shop now? And he's like, yeah. And Lisa's looking at me like, you didn't arm the shop before we went on vacation? And I was like, damn, man. So I had a hard time starting out with that alarming. It was hard to get used to doing. Now I'm good.
Yeah. That's
Every
good.
time I leave alarming. But before, I was fighting it.
It's good to say that you do that even if you don't.
Right.
Every time.
I'm telling you, dude.
I
Ain't,
have it on my phone, so I'll like check before bed. I'm like, did he arm the shop?
That's
Like, I can
cool.
do it
Right.
in my app.
Yeah.
we just installed some new cameras the other day.
Did you?
But one of them, El Corbinado, my 20-year-old that does so good,
Yeah.
he does really good, but he likes to throw in a little fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, he
Right.
doesn't want to do too good because he knows, like, damn, this dude's going to think I'm coming after his spot.
Right.
So, like, he put up cameras, and I pulled them up, and one of them's upside down, and it's like 20 foot up on the bar. And I'm like, Corbin,
We're gonna take
buddy,
that.
it's upside down. Like, I got a fucking 2 cameras I can look like this. The other one, I got to turn my head
Right.
upside down.
Corbin. That's a good name. Do you know who I think about when I think about Corbin?
El Corbinado?
Corbin Bleu. You know
Le
who that
Cordon
is?
Bleu?
Ah,
Le Cordon Bleu.
El Cordon Bleu. No, Corbin Bleu is the dude off High School Musical.
I never watched that.
That's bullshit.
It's that couple of years I got you, Chad.
Yeah.
Much older.
No, that's not true.
I never watched
So
High
you
School
just turned
Musical.
37, right?
Yeah. which is
I'm
really
35.
weird.
I'll be 36 in like
You were like a
A week.
Josh
2
and
weeks.
Jake kind of guy or
Mm-mm.
whatever.
That's Drake and Josh.
Drake and
no.
Josh. Drake and
So
Josh.
switch to me real quick. Okay, you can't even see my drink.
No, keep it out of it. I noticed how I went with colorfuls. I went with, I'm not even in a picture.
That's
Sorry.
great.
Oh,
Jesse, buddy, it's not all about you. All right. I mean,
but isn't it though?
Isn't it though?
Leo.
You're a Leo. You're like, I'm like, when is your birthday? He's like, well, I'm a Leo.
I'm a fucking lion, king of the jungle.
I don't
if
even
that
know
tells
what I
anything.
am. I'm in February. What does that mean? The year of the snake is 1989. That's me and Taylor Swift. Shout out to.
T Swift.
I truly don't know how people watch football. That's the. I'm sorry to say
I don't
this
know
real
how
quick.
they
I
watch
want to get off on a
T-Swift.
brief tangent. I'm a motocrosser through and through. I don't like it because it's fucking awesome. I love it because that's who I am. I love motocross and supercross
I was that guy
and dirt
for
bike.
one night at your wedding.
And you were.
in that picture.
I don't watch
Post the picture,
baseball or
Lisa.
basketball. I watch a little bit of basketball, but I don't watch football or baseball. What other mainstream sports
We don't
are
watch
there? I don't
anything.
even know. I wish I loved football.
We just
Why?
watch a Shaq on Super Bowl
Yeah.
every year.
Super Bowl Sunday, snack it up,
I
watch
haven't
the
watched the
game.
Super Bowl my entire life.
We just eat.
Really? Yeah. We just eat and turn it off and watch.
I love it. I wish I loved it. I love the idea of it, but like
I don't have time.
I don't even.
I'm 40 at this point. I've done fucked off a lot of time.
right.
I definitely ain't got time right now to
Time
watch no
is
football.
now.
But what I have found very interesting.
Tell me.
Xbox One.
Okay.
My kids' console, they got like the game system.
PlayStation 5 is better, but go ahead.
Whatever you're on. I get on there the other night.
Cross-platform.
I'm tooling around.
Sure.
And I found, and before you leave, I'd like to challenge you.
I'm one of the top. Real quick. And please clip this. I'm one of the top Supercross racers
I've got
in
that
the
game,
world. Supercross 6. I'm one of the fastest Supercross racers there is. Period. On Supercross 5, I had the third fastest lap time at Anaheim 1.
PlayStation
5.
5. 5?
4, I
Four.
think, for PlayStation for
So,
Supercross 5. But
I'm tooling around. I find this game that is a
Thank you.
side-by-side hill climbing game.
I love that.
Dude,
Tell me
it's
more.
It's a 2-player. I can sit in there for 2 hours and just, I mean, it's just sometimes you gotta go slow to heat up your tires and get them smoking, and then go slow. Oh my god, it's so good. And little dude loves it. Mason loves it.
So I want to say this real quick. You guys are the shit.
Thank you.
I think I got a lot of respect for you guys. You
Thank you.
know,
Same.
Yeah.
We love
thank
guys.
you. You know, I'm not good about billing, but I don't give a fuck what he does for a living. You know, or how much money he's got. I like him because of who he is.
Good guy.
Yeah. I think the word jocking is like from 2006 exclusively.
I mean, they've been
Auto
jocking that
jogging,
dick.
beat steady. You know, that's a
Yeah.
great. Speaking of jocking, Timmy was texting me.
Speaking of
Holy
that,
fucking shit!
He's a contractor.
If you know, you know. But anyways, I would love to get like this whole fucking thing when Jesse's talking about whatever. Pick something. I'm gonna send it to Wes and a couple buddies. Yeah, nothing like probably Wes and Josh and Jared. None of
So
them.
there I was, me and my boy Cyclops. We're coming out of the back of a farmer's field, basically a farmhouse, because we needed some anhydrous.
Yeah.
So I was on my Raptor 660,
Yep.
and we just went to a tank. It was no luck, no bueno.
No.
So I have no back brakes. I'm coming across this field riding wheelies like this,
I hear
just
ya.
50-mile-an-hour wheelies. Every
Yep.
time the hill would come up, I'd float a wheelie.
Yep.
I've got her up in a wheelie, no back brakes. I've got a one-eyed guy on the back and 2 anhydrous tanks that are empty.
Yep.
I'm riding a
Tell me.
wheelie across this field, and I see a road cut into the field like 2 foot down. And I have just enough time to let off the gas and my front end to sit down. And I barely pulled my front brakes. I always had front brakes.
I love front brakes. You got that.
About the time I hit the bank on the other side,
Yep.
me and the one-eyed dude flip over endo, and the handlebars had a metal tab like that. That's where I got this scar at between
Really?
my eyes. There was skin on my four-wheeler from my face when I got done. But I wake up, and I've got this one-eyed guy driving my Raptor, and there's a creek, and I'm holding on to him.
Yep.
We were crackheads, so we both weighed like 100 pounds. So it's like holding
Had to
on
be
to a
done.
fucking
Right. Nothing.
Oshkosh or whatever.
Auschwitz.
Auschwitz fucking.
That fucking that's Jesus
Is what it
Christ. Don't
felt
get me
like,
started
'cause-
on Hitler. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because we were all skinny, so I'm like holding his ribs, and I'm like, I will open my eyes, and there's 3. It's one of the only times this has happened, but it has happened a couple times since then. But I had 3 visions, like one here, one overlapping, and one overlapping, and they were all going like this. And he's like, "Can I get across this creek? Can I get across this creek?" And I'm just waking up, blood just pouring down my face because I'm fucked up.
Right.
The handlebars fucking bounce the four-wheeler off my head. So I wake up and I look, it's all moving. He's like, "Can I go?" And I said, "Yes, you can get through it," because I could see the visions.
Yeah.
And he just easily went down in this creek and just got stuck. And I remember reaching there. I couldn't see. There was so much blood in my eye, but I got a shot of what it looked like. And then I just closed my eyes. And I remember fucking reaching around, little skinny crackhead, putting it in reverse because I got the little twist knob up there.
Yeah.
And going back and forth and getting us up out of there. That story goes on to the next day. I think I've told this one where me and Derek, or Derek, we'll say, got in a
Daryl.
fight. I hit him with a blackjack. I had a big bandage. My whole head was bandaged. I got in a fight the next day. Guys that I beat up twice sees me the next morning, all bandaged up. Oh, and it's like 5 dudes. They come across the street. "Oh, boy wants to fight you now." I'm by myself.
Right.
Bandage on my head and limping. I'm like, how fucking convenient.
Fuck, right.
I'll be right there. I go to the front door, put all my shit out, and I grab my blackjack with the little lead ball on the end of it.
Yeah.
The little flat things, you know?
Yep.
Stick in my back pocket. Walk over. He's coming down the driveway. I'm literally bandaged up. I can like see like a dog with matted hair, like a little bit of this guy. And he gets up. He's coming at me. And I fucking walk right up to my blackjack out and just went to wailing. And he put his arms up like that, and I hit him a couple times, and there was like knots down his arm. Hit
Yeah.
him in the head. He's running down the driveway. Well, he had like 3 or 4 buddies with him, so I just turned to them and started swinging on everybody. They're all running down the driveway. I'm chasing them all bandaged up, can't see shit, you know. So that was that
Damn,
story.
did you see that Facebook video? My mother-in-law sent me this. There was a Facebook video of an older dude, 35, 40. I don't give a shit how old he is, an adult, freaking out on this kid on like a KLX 110.
Yeah, in the snow. And he's
in the
like punches him
snow.
and
He
shit.
punches him in the fucking body.
What a bitch.
If I was that kid's dad, I would have fucking taken a
Damn,
baseball
that dude's
bat
house.
and smashed his fucking kneecaps in. And when he was sitting there immobile, I would have smashed his skull in.
Me and Mason, my 15-year-old had a kid bullying him a little bit,
Fuck that kid.
giving him a hard time.
This is a couple years ago in junior high.
This is a couple years ago. They're in like 8th grade or something.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, pull up. And
Oh, shit.
Mason's telling me, he's like, man, these kids are. And I'm like,
Not a problem, son.
fucking let's go.
Right.
So we hop in the truck. We put the ski mask on. I'm like, I don't want to get caught, right? So we pull up. We take a picture of his front door and send it to the kid that said, knock, knock. Nobody ever came to the door. They're scared.
Well, it's just like
I ain't letting nobody fuck my kid.
there was a clip from some movie with Colin Farrell, or maybe it was a TV show, and this kid gets bullied, and he's like, "Where's this kid live?" And he gets the kid outside. He's like, "Get your dad."
Yeah.
And he's like, and he beats the fuck out of his dad with brass knuckles, and he's like, "The next time you bully my kid, I'm gonna fuck your dad." And it was awesome. It was just like, damn. Colin Farrell. What is that off of?
I don't know. I'm going to watch it, though.
Not True Detective, but I'm going to look that up.
Speaking of dads, my dad, who's also a funny character,
Yeah.
is always talking about how he's going to die. And a while back, he's funny as fuck. And he's like, I think I'm just going to go up to Michigan. That's where he always goes for his little getaway. I'm going to go up to Michigan and just cover myself in honey and go out in the woods and let the bears eat me. He said, but my luck, the bear will come out and probably just fuck me to death. I'll be sitting there and the bear be fucking me. I'm help. He said it won't
It's not
kill
what
me.
I want.
He also said one time he had court, he's like, I'm thinking about just jumping up, running and jumping out the window. He's like, my luck, it'll be bulletproof. And I'll just splat.
It's True Detective Season 2. Ray Velcro beats up Bully's dad. It's a great
Text that to me.
Great
I'll watch
season.
it.
I'm going to share it with you.
I love the videos where it shows the motorcycle like going 150. And it's like if my son or daughter ever calls and said, Dad, I need help. And it shows the guy like going through traffic. Those videos always
Yeah, they really
get me
are.
excited.
Share. I'm sending it to
Make me
you
want to
right
go beat
now.
up somebody's dad.
Well, you hate to have to, but if need be, Jesse May, you got it right here. Yeah, what a loser. Yeah,
All right. Well, back to Reckless Success. It's been a little pause in our recording. We've been super busy with the holidays.
It's been a sabbatical, and he's been overseas.
I've been overseas.
It's not been all busy working and grinding. There's been some enjoyment, but you know what? I'm gonna say this. Listen. All work and no play.
It's no fun.
What's the fucking
Makes
line off
Ellie
of
go
The
away.
Shining?
Makes Ellie go away.
Look that up, Jamie. All work and no play makes something a dull boy. I can't remember. Makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's off of The Shining. If they knew it back in the day, that was
It's
Jack
Johnny.
Nicholson. It's Johnny. All work and no play makes Jesse a dull boy. Jesse
That's right.
needs to go overseas. He needs to go to the Netherlands. He needs to
I
go
need to spread these wings.
He needs to spread those wings.
We were once a wolf pack, but now I've started my own pack.
Right.
It's
And that pack's got to spread its wings.
got to spread its wings and branch out.
Right.
You know?
I'm blessed to be here. Happy to be here. It's been 2 months. Would you say 2 months? It's been a sabbatical.
It's been a little hiatus. Chad, you're always good to have on. Good
Thank
to go
you.
back and forth. You got good stories. We appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate that.
CPS Power Washing,
That's
Law
right.
and Order,
That's
not the
right.
Law and Order I thought. So
But
you
the
can
real
like it. The real
OG Law and Order and Skaggs Holiday Lighting. Not that I'm a big guy about promoting my business, because it's all good and I'm an
'Cause you are
individual.
busy.
But I'm happy to be here.
That's right.
I feel privileged.
Thank you.
2 months back, I come back with the debut. We're kicking ass. We're killing it. May Excavating. Let's go.
Plenty more where that came from.
Plenty more where that came from.
We appreciate you guys listening. Hit that like and subscribe. Go to YouTube just in case they take our TikTok down. Reckless Success. See you in 2 weeks. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube at reckless.success. Instagram at Reckless Success. We're on Spotify and all major podcast services. Hit that subscribe button, please. For more information on May Excavating, check out our website or TikTok. That's a wrap. Thanks.